Well, hello, all you wild, weird, wonderful, wacky nut jobs live out there in YouTube land. How the hell are you? Well, I have to say, another beautiful day here in County Clare. The sun is out, splitting the trees, and it's fab, absolutely fab. And I hope the weather is fabulous wherever you are today. I hope it's not raining. You're able to get out and about for a little bit of fresh air because Lord knows we need it this time of the year. So, let's give it a few minutes for people to come in. I know I'm extra early today. I have a few things to do, so I have to juggle around my time. So, and I didn't know this was going to come up. So, this is why I'm early. Just trying to get this done, and I know people are going to be probably annoyed with me because I'm very early. But however, I do have things to do this afternoon. So, yeah. So we'll just give it a few more minutes for people to come in. Yeah, AD has filed his application to the Court of Appeal. So this should be interesting. It's interesting to see the whole cogs of the justice world sort of turn. Um, yeah, I'm just interested to see where this will go. So we'll just give it a few more minutes, and I don't see anybody in. I'll drop the link just in case somebody does want to come up. Now, I'm not going to go in and do a deep thing into AD. I'm just going to go over, literally just go over very, very lightly. If you want, hey Six, how you doing, darling? If you want somebody who's going to do a deep dive on basically what this all says, tune in to Genetic Code. She's generally on in the evenings. I don't know if she's going to go live today, but you'll know when she does. She'll put a reminder out for you. But keep an eye on JC's channel because she delves deep into it, where I just casework bores my brains. It really does. But however, I can't make myself pay attention to it either, but I'm going to try. So, come on, folks. Where are you? Where are you? But so Six Banger, you don't know AD, the armchair detective, but he's really getting steamrolled here. So now, bearing in mind, we were completely against this man a few years back, but when you remove yourself from it, hey Flowers, you're on the treadmill, good woman yourself. Yeah, no, I didn't think you did. Anyway, the what shall I say? You know, the Watts case, where that horrible man murdered his pregnant wife and their two little girls. Well, it's her family. Well, more her brother, Frankie, that's taken AD to court. At the beginning, we were all sort of, yeah, that this is good. He's making up all sorts of stuff. But now, after everything that's happened between then and now, I have very, very different feelings about what's going on, and you wouldn't believe the underhanded crap that's gone on here. You just wouldn't. You really just wouldn't believe it. Like, hey, Frida, hey, honey. So all the crap that we have had to put up with from then till now has been has been something else. It really has. It's been quite eye opening as well, really. Like, but yeah, it's been bit of a nightmare for some people, really. Not everybody was very happy with the way things went. And me being one of them, and I know there's a lot of people that feel the same way, but I'm not going to speak for anybody and put words in their mouth. But a lot of us, hey, Lady Witch, how you doing? Mumbles, morning on, how are you? Enjoy your coffee. Um, yeah, so you would not believe the stuff that's happened since then to now, all the crap that's gone in between. The lying, it's the lying that gets me every single time. It's the lies. And essentially, it's what's going to screw up this case because the people his supporters on here have done nothing but derail his whole case. And I was quite taken back when the judgment was made, but the judge had never seen any of AD's paperwork, any of his evidence. He saw nothing. So how can you? And I know there was a certain part to his solicitors that were trying to sort of get it shoved in and get it passed, but Alan, fair play to him, he was like, well, no, have you read my evidence? Have you seen my side of things? And basically he was saying no, and so they're going to do it now. Um, but I find that insane. How can you come to a conclusion on a case when you haven't got both sides of the information? I don't understand how any judge can do that. Surely that's completely wrong, and that's definitely not a fair trial or a fair court order. It can't be. I mean, is there new stuff? Yes, there is. The way they keep saying that, oh, he's never going to get appeal, he's never going to get this, he's never going to get that. Well, he has actually successfully applied for an appeal. So what he's appealing for is to stay all enforcements and remedies proceedings. The filings actually do bring quite a lot of issues, and he's outlined a few of them. Key issues: judgment hearing transcript not ordered, and was never ordered by the claimant's legal team either. So I find that very strange. The court was waiting on information stating that it was in progress. The court was waiting on information. Frankie's lawyers told them that it was in progress, that they had asked for the papers. They never did. CRATU, CRATU confirmed. I can't remember what that stands for, but I'm sure I'll remember halfway through. Confirmed no transcripts had been ever requested or submitted. So I mean, that's a bit weird. Like, I have so many questions, and I'm just sad JC isn't here. Now I know JC is gonna go into this like on minute detail, and she's brilliant at it. But people keep saying on here that, oh, Frankie's won, he's won, and if he does win, well, he's won, and that's it. The show's over, But if he didn't win, and anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Alan was not served any papers. It wasn't Alan delaying any of this process. It was Frankie's solicitors, by the sounds of all of this. They couldn't find Alan, so he was not served, so he was unable to respond. So you can see how that happened. Yeah, if you can't find somebody to serve them with papers for court, how can you go on with the court? You can't really. Not that I can see. AD is not taking this line down. He's got an appeal. His side needs to be heard. Of course, his side needs to be heard. Frida, absolutely, I completely agree with you. How can you have a proper ruling on anything if you're not taking into consideration all the facts, all the evidence? He's got a basis for appeal just based on the fact that the court hadn't even read the side. Oh, I agree with you, absolutely. He might not have had a chance, but he has the right to an appeal. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Hey, Lisa, how you, honey? So what was after that? The defense evidence not read before. Yeah, none of this defense or evidence was read before the judgment. So you have to consider: is there a fair trial issue here? So I think that's where SLAP comes into play. Again, I can't remember what that means. I should write these things down, because I always think, oh, I'm going to remember what that is, but no, I'm not going to. Yes, she has, Frida. JC has it up on a post. She absolutely has. And I was hoping that we could see a little tab that she might be going live. Now, she's probably waiting for at some time over the weekend, or maybe she'll decide she'll go live tonight. But yeah, just if you're on YouTube and you're following Helen, or you're following me, whatever, don't take our word for it. If you don't want to, don't take our word for it. You can click onto the website. You can go to the case things. I can't remember the name of it. I have it. I've signed up to it, and you get a notification when anytime there's any papers filed, and anytime there's anything done on that case, that you'll get a little message that something new has happened along with the paperwork or whatever else. Like, do that. I'm not asking you to believe us, and I'm not asking you to believe Helen. I'm begging you not to believe Helen and all them, because it's absolutely lies. It's what they're trying to say is absolute rubbish. And the way it's looking now, it is never going to happen It's not going to happen now until the new year, and probably I'd say maybe February. Um, if anything, I don't know, but it's definitely not going to happen now before Christmas. Definitely not. Where am I? Oh, where am I? Oh, here we go. Lady Rich. He's got a basis for an appeal just based on the fact that the court didn't. Yeah, I read yours. Yeah, I agree with you. I fully agree with you. Um, check it out. Yeah, absolutely check it out. It's on JC's community post. She's written it all out, and it's very clear, very easy to read and understand. Um, and I have to give it to him. He's put a really good sort of thing together. I would love to know who's doing his writing and typing for him, because it's not him, bless him. Frankie should have done it. What's that? If this gets dismissed due to slap, I will never stop laughing. I will probably wet myself laughing if that happens, because I don't think I'd be able to stop laughing. Hey, Pain Like Bane, how you doing, love? Which Frankie should have done. Posted updates. He got enough money out of people. Yeah, like anytime there was an update with a case, like we find out because myself and JC are signed up to the case boards, I think it's called. And anytime, as I say, if there's as much as a piece of paper that gets filed for something, there's a new update and it pops up. And yeah, you can just click on to see what's happening or what's changed. Where was I going? Yeah, I mean, Frankie should have been doing that, really. Anytime there was anything posted or changed in the case, he should have done little posts like that and just said, well, the reason we're filing this is because A, B, and C. But, he chose not to do that because I don't know. He was looking for a hell of a lot of money off people for very little input on his behalf, I have to say. Now, looking back, we did all the work. We did absolutely all the work to get that thing up and running and get as much money in as they got. We did that. And just remind you all, we did that. Let me see. Oh yeah, contradictions in the crowd justice funding. Now, what that was people making comments on the crowd justice website, like using my name or AD's name, all of that kind of thing. Yeah, like, do they not understand that this is all going down for the better of AD? That they've played into AD's hands and they're literally handing AD the course, or the court case. Do they not understand that? We told them that. JC told them that. Salty told them that. Everybody told them that what you've done is just going to literally hand it to him in a lovely crystal bowl. There you go, AD. You've won. Yeah, no criminal records versus his real record. I mean, come on. Never had any issues with drugs. That's a lie. Was never arrested before in his life. That's a lie. An absolute lie. He was arrested many times. How many, I don't know. But I would hazard a guess at around, I don't know, maybe 6, 7 more times than I was. Let's just put it that way. And more than most people I know. 6, 7 times more than most people. Like, how did you not think that was going to come out? Because I have to ask, Frankie, how did you not think that this was going to come out? You've got freedom of information over there, and do you not think that people have friends over here and that information is easily garnered? I can't understand how you thought. And, as his mum, Sandy, why would you blatantly lie to people like that? All your supporters, all the people who worked hard to bring up your money, to get more money in, and people who worked their feckin' hearts and souls out for you people. And yet you lied. You lied to all of us. You barefaced lied to all of us. You said on a live that your son was never in trouble with the police. Never a day's trouble. Never. And he was asked again, do you have a criminal record? He said, absolutely not. No. Well, that was absolutely lies. And I really just don't understand. I'm never going to understand that kind of behavior. I just don't. False donations, comments displayed on the Crowd Justice website. I mean, we all know what happened there. When I saw my business name being used, I went on. I can't remember the girl's name. I know I have her name and her email. Um, but I was talking to this lovely girl. I explained the situation. She was actually horrified. Um, she said she'll see what she can do. She'll take a look. And I know probably in around the same hour, a few more of us complained. And then it went like, what possessed you people to do that? What part of your brains thought, oh, I know what's a really good idea. Let's do this. Are you mad? Look, I mean, as we said time and time and time again, you people are going to be the downfall of this case completely from start to finish because you cannot behave yourselves. You don't know how to behave. You know, did you see any of us in there doing anything like that? No, absolutely not. Why? Because we respect, the fact that, okay, this is what he's doing. We're not part of that anymore. But this is a professional, law company involved with people and laws and all that kind of stuff. We're not going to be messing with anything like that because we've no need to. All we want to do is sit in the sidelines and see the outcome. Basically, that's it. But you people thought, oh, because I'm Frankie's supporters, we can go in and just say what we want and it'll be fine. Hey, Kiss, how you doing, darling? No, it won't be fine. It's never going to be fine. What you've done to AD's case is literally you've won it for him. And, you can sit there and cry all you like because literally that's what you have done. You have handed the case literally to AD. Three guesses which stripper made the donations in your name. Oh, yeah, I know. And then wasn't it Cassius? And then I think it was Bam. And I can't remember who else it was. There was a few of us that got it. And I just thought, wow. And then Claire Morgan and her evidence. I can safely say anything that that woman garnered on YouTube or anywhere else, anything that they've submitted that has come across or come through her hands, gone. Why? Because so what if Claire lied? Well, you're finding out now what happens. So what if Claire lied? You don't get away with stuff like that in court. It's not going to stand, as they've just proved it. All out, gone, done. Anything that came through her hands had to be thrown out. And yeah, the majority of it was all hearsay. All of it. And I don't know if Junior has ever provided security of costs either. Has he got the money to bankroll this whole thing if it goes tits up on his end? Because I know AD had to do it for his end. 100% sure he's had to do it for his end. Well, no, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to say that, but I'm pretty sure he's had to do that. Or maybe is it just the person who's taken the other person to court, the claimant? Maybe it's just the claimant that has to do it. Actually, I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up, but I will look that up later on. It's just bizarre that is generally one of the first steps in a court process, and that was sidestepped. I wonder why that is. Is it the fact, and I'm just asking here, is it the fact that he had a crowd justice thing to support him, or is that counted? I don't know. I don't know is the honest answer, but as I say, I'll definitely be asking JC when she's live, because Helen likes to put around nothing but lies. And that's all it is. It's all spin doctor bullshit and lies. And it's sad that people are listening to her and thinking like, oh, she has to be right because it's Helen. She's not right. I'm tired of telling people she's not right. JC is tired of telling people that it's not right. What she's doing is spreading misinformation, and people can go, oh yeah, but you, bam, bam, bam. Oh my God, I am not Bam. Hate to break it to you. I'm not Bam. I'm nothing like Bam. I'm me. I'm tired of telling you people that I am me. Yes, I was a mod for Bam. Yes, I was a friend of Bam's. Were we friends at the very end? No, we weren't. I'm good with that. I'm sorry she was so sick, but it is what it is. Sorry, what did I miss there? When Claire Morgan has disappeared, if you were innocent, you would be out defending your actions. That speaks volumes to me. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Sure, I remember. Was it? I think it was Outie, because he was going live quite a lot with all of that. He was like, "Oh, we don't know what's happening. We don't know what's happening." And I remember, Mama was on. Has anybody seen Claire? I do remember reading that comment. Has anybody seen Claire? Does anybody know where Claire is? You know. This is when we all found out that she wasn't a lawyer or a solicitor or the non-lawyering liar, or is it the other way around? The non yeah. Anyway, JC says that that's her thing. It's a mouth twister for me. I have to think about it. Not the only thing she likes to put around, allegedly. People are so intent on humiliating others that they lost track of the goal, unless the goal wasn't really to help Junior and it was just a reason to be hateful. Lady Wish, that's so spot on. That's so spot on. Because that's all that lot used to do before the Ruzek thing came along, and before Frankie came along. That's all they used to do, was just troll people online. That was it. That's what they lived for, trolling people online and gathering information on people. That was their lot. And Mr. Dehan was in the, like, right up to his chin and all that as well, weren't you, Mr. Dehan? What do you mean you're not Baham? Yeah, I know, shocker, isn't it? I'm not Baham. The way people are still carrying on tells us that's, yeah, the answer to that. Yeah, I know, and I agree with you. But, like, you can't. How can you take documents from the court? Okay, from case boards. I'm sure that's the name of it. I'm terrible. If I don't have something in front of me, I'm going to forget it instantly, and the names and everything. I'm really bad. If all you have to do is go on case boards. Again, I'm not telling anybody, oh, you have to believe us, we're telling you the truth. I'm not going to say that. I mean, it's up to you what you believe and what you consume on here. But if you want real truth, no jabber, just go on to case boards and look up the case. That's all you have to do. And you can sign up to it, and they will send you, like, notifications or alerts when anything new has happened with the case. Like, they might file a piece of paper for something else, or send paper from A to B, or whatever. Anything that they do, it will come up on case boards. So, I mean, that's why it's kind of good if you are following a case to do that, because you'll get it first. What do you mean I'm not bound? So, yeah, I know. And it's just, are they going to still believe Frankie won if AD does? You know, because I am very, very baffled at all of that. So anything Claire has ever had her hand to cannot be put in front of the judge again, ever, because it's all lies, and it's, as they say, secondhand information. None of it is the evidence in its form from the very first, if you know what I mean, from very first typed or uttered out of somebody's mouth. They haven't got that. They never had that. They had a statement written by one of Cohen's associates. So, yeah, that how they thought that was going to float as, like, evidence, solid evidence, is beyond me. So they don't have that now. They actually don't. What do they have? What do they have? I would love to know, what do they have? Because what I can see, they don't really have very much of anything. I mean, in the UK and Ireland, we do have, it's not called freedom of speech. It's called, I'm going to skip over that and I'll come back to it, because seriously, girls, my brain is just fried. I'm a lady of a certain age. It won't come back to me. Certain things won't come back to me. It's there in black and white. If you don't speak legalese, you can Google definitions. It's okay not to understand, but don't try and like things. Yeah, exactly, Lady Witch. And that was another point I was going to make. If you don't understand it, you can paste and copy it into ChatGPT, let's say. Freedom of expression. Thank you, Lady Witch. Thank you so much. which kind of works out to be the same thing, kind of. But I wouldn't be going to court on those bases. Oh Lord, yeah, I know they all wanted me or Kiss or Sheila to be the new, but I, I just look at them. I'm sad for them. I'm sad for them because that's all they lived their lives for, and it's YouTube drama and bullshit. But like Salty said, it's not that I'm invested in. Well, I am. I suppose I am invested in this case to a certain point. We were the ones who got it off the ground. We were the ones who did all the heavy lifting, all of it. We did all of that work for them. For years, we did all of that work for them. And then as soon as Claire is a lying lawyer or a non-lawyering liar, yeah. I mean, they could have spun it, they could have done it, handled it so many ways, which would have been fine. All they had to do was like, folks, we're gonna jump on, live with Outie or whoever they wanted to be on with at the time. We'll have questions, whatever, but or even just do a little video saying, look, this is the first we've heard of it. We're trying to find your feet and all this new information. Just give us a chance, and we'll tell you what's happening so far. That's all they had to do. That's all they had to do. And we would have said, oh my God, that poor family. Oh my God, they've been lied to, they've been had, and all of it. I can imagine how we would have felt. I can only imagine how we would have felt. And they would have had more people on their feckin' side. Do you see what they do? They cut off the hand that's feeding them. They don't just bite it, they cut it off. They're burning bridges left, right, and centre with people on here and everywhere else. And yeah, they're not very popular, shall we say. And look, I don't take any joy in this. And I know there'll be the cronies out there that'll be go, oh, she's loving this. No, I'm not. I genuinely am not. I don't gloat over this. I'm certainly not gloating over it. I do want to see how it plays out. Absolutely, of course I do. We were a very, very big part of that. So yeah, I do want to see how it plays out. But am I going to be upset if Junior wins? No, I'm not. It's just, okay, that's over, grand. We can now finally move on from this to something else. Am I going to be overly excited if AD wins? No, I'm not actually. Like, neither one of them deserves a penny, if you ask me. Not one of them. So I would much prefer if a judge said, you go back to your country and keep his name out of your mouth, and you go back to your flat and keep his name out of your mouth, and just get on with it. Because that's kind of the way I see it. It's sort of boiling down to little kids. Like, what do you want, mister? Sorry. What do you want? You want to go out? Hang on a sec. I'm a glorified door woman for this dog. That's all I do, is let him in and out fucking all day long. Go on, out you go. Yeah, so I'm interested, as I said, in this and seeing the end of it, because, as I say, we were such a big part of it until we weren't. So yeah, it will be interesting to see how it pans out. But no, I'm not going to be overly delighted if AD wins. I mean, why would I be? Like, I don't like AD as such, I don't like the things that he did on his live streams, on the things he said on his live streams. And his personal life is his personal life. I'm not going to get into it. It's and I've no need to. But like, it's just one of those situations where both are equally as bad as each other. But if you want to talk about people being bullied and harassed, I mean, that is actually in the filing of the appeal as well. People being bullied and harassed on Crowd Justice and on YouTube and all of that kind of thing. And we have been bullied and harassed. I mean, the things that they have said about me, oh my God, and their horrible whatever comments about me, my family, whatever. I don't care. I mean, they're just They go out of their way to hurt people. They literally do. They go out of their way to hurt people, and if somebody is going to sit there and dribble about all their life and all their experiences, well, you've got to be prepared to have feedback from people. If you're going to put something out online, out to the world, not everybody's going to agree with what happened, or your side of the story, or whatever, like, and then people get butthurt because people say, well, like, why did you do that? I don't agree with that. Do you know what I mean? Let's take, for instance, me. I was outside and I got a bang of a car and I died, and my husband was in here with his earphones on and he didn't hear a thing. And um would it have been his fault that I didn't make it to the hospital, or would it have been his fault that he wasn't standing outside minding me? Or do you know what I mean? um we all have sad stories. We all have terrible things that have happened in our lives, but some of us keep that to ourselves, and we don't parade it around for I suppose it's currency. It's a type of currency on here. It really is nowadays. But yeah, the only winners is the lot. Absolutely. We've been saying that for the past how many years? I hope Junior wins, because what AD said was deplorable, but he didn't have a genuine case, and this is a waste of time. Even if Junior wins, he's not going to get anything. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you there. Um, as for Junior winning, I don't. What, I'm gonna have to say I disagree with you. But that's cool. That's what you think. But I'm gonna have to disagree with you, because of purely all the bullshit that's gone on, all the lies that we were fed. You know, how they just cut people off and are absolutely horrible to people for absolutely no reason. Hey Shaz, how you doing? For no reason whatsoever. And if you're not singing from their hymn book, that's it, you're done. Hey baby love darling, how you doing? And I find that very sort of, I don't know, not transactional, but just, I don't like the way they operate, and I don't like the way they treat people. But yeah, I hope that this case happens really quick in January. It probably won't, but whatever happens, I hope it happens quick after Christmas, because this is just like pulling teeth now. Hey, Salty, how you doing? How's my girl? How's my girl? Do you want to come up? We were just talking about the new info on AD, and I was saying I'm not going to do the deep dive into it that Jen does, because I can't use my phone to look at things and read off and be on here at the same time. But I was just going over it, so people would know when Jen is going live to click in and watch, because she goes through it really, really well. But I mean, as I was saying to people, look, you don't have to believe me, you don't have to believe JC, and you don't have to believe AD or Junior. Just go on to case boards and read all the information for yourself. It's all there. You don't need people to be giving you misinformation, and we're certainly not doing that. We're reading it as it comes out. But I can understand if people feel that, oh, we're just saying bullshit just to make us feel better. No, we're not. We're not. But yeah, whichever way it goes, I'll be glad to see it ended. I really will, because it's just so long at this stage. I wasn't looking at that part of it. I was just looking at the case itself, the fuckery surrounding it's a whole different creature. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I look at the whole thing is a mess. If you ask me, the whole thing is a mess. And both sides, as far as I can see, hands are dirty on both sides. I don't think either one of them deserve a penny. And I think that's what should happen. You go home and you go back to your flat, and nobody's getting anything. That's the end of it. Don't talk to each other. Don't connect with each other. Don't mention each other. I think something maybe like that, or I don't know. I have no idea what these people are thinking of in courts, and I don't want to know. But I am looking forward to it being resolved. I really am, because I'm tired. I'm tired. How many years is this now? It's boring. And I know it's boring for a lot of people, but as I said, we were there at the start. We kicked it off. We got the majority of the money in. We worked so hard. gave so much of ourselves and everything else, and you get treated like absolute crap. But yeah, from everything that from Claire Morgan, all of that stuff, I think the case should have been thrown out on that. How can you go ahead with a case when everything that, like, the serious evidence that's been collected has been by one mental person in the UK, and it's all lies? I mean, the videos that they were talking about, was it maybe 3 or 5 videos? I can't remember, but they're gone now. They're not just deleted; they're completely gone. So nobody can go back and check and see if they have it word for word correct. So they can't fact check. They can't, so that's anything that somebody is saying is going to be paraphrasing it or hearsay. So I can't see how that's going to move on. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out, which I can't. And I'm going to leave that to JC because she's great at all that kind of stuff. But oh, here's my girl. Hey, salty girl, how you doing? Salty, you're muted. You're muted. Oh, she's gone. She had herself muted. Yeah. So I mean, once that whole thing with Claire Morgan came out and we were all aware, A, it was handled terribly. B, anything, as we know, that she's gathered, and she had the bulk, if I remember correctly, she had the bulk of the evidence. Half of it was just, I think, her making shit up as she went along, but I'm sure there was a lot of pie in the sky stuff that she put in there just to make AD sound even worse. He didn't need any help. The things that he was coming up with was terrible, but I can't say that he was worse than anybody else that was on YouTube. I mean, there's people on YouTube that are horrendous, the things that they're saying about that whole murder and the people that were involved, and really horrible. I've clicked on 1 or 2 things that have come up in my feed, and I'm just like, how are these people allowed to say these things and get away with it? AD, you all thought, I think, was going to be like shooting fish in a barrel, but not so. He's going to stand up for himself, and I'm glad he is, because he was I mean, what people have done to his youngest daughter, it just sickens me. It really does. It absolutely sickens me. The disgusting things that was brought up and said about his daughter. Like, he was so upset about that, but I do remember somebody telling me back then that she was in bits over it. His daughter, and of course she would be. Why wouldn't she be? She was getting all screenshots of chats, voice clips, but it was all hearsay. Any lawyer would have known that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you haven't got the original, it's no use. That's absolutely useless. You have to have it from the horse's mouth, if you like. Yeah, screenshots and chats. I mean, that doesn't add up to very much of anything. You can go through all of that, but as you say, it's like secondhand information. It's not going to work. Hey, YouTube lady, how you doing, love? Does that mean Frankie has to find security to put towards the court? Basically, he has to prove he's enough money to cover it. That's what I'm assuming that says. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm assuming, that it would make sense. Why go to court and why go get this far in if he hasn't proved that he has enough money to cover his costs? So yeah, that is strange. Here's my girl. Here's my girl. Hello.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, my darling. You sound wonderful.
Well, I was connected to 2 different. It's a
Oh,
long story. Y'all know I have, like, you asked me the other day, why do I have so many phones? Well, I have an American phone, I have a UK phone, and I have the third phone that's not
oh,
for fun. So,
yeah.
but I had I got on this one and I'm connected with these earbuds, but then my other earbuds decided to join the party at the same time. So
Ah, yeah.
I couldn't hear anything. So I don't know. It's just, it's not a good moment for the old self bitch over here. But so I read what you sent me. Now, is that new? Assuming that's new
Yes, this is new.
information.
Hey, COVID. Yeah, this is
Come on now.
new stuff.
This is the shit that JC goes over with me, and then she'll do a live stream and she wants me to come up on panel, and then I'll have her explain it to me. So I can't explain
Yeah.
anything to you. What it
Well,
says is what it says. But
I
I
think
hope it's finally just fucking.
yeah, I
I hope
think
it's
it's
over and done
fairly,
with.
yeah, I think it's fairly straightforward, to be honest with you. I mean, you can garner what it says from, I mean, it's basically straightforward. I don't think it's very confusing. I don't think there's very confusing language in it. I think it's pretty easy to understand what's happening. I bet the transcripts condition as let me see. I bet the transcripts contain fabrication. Oh yeah, yeah, I would too.
They
Look,
do.
we all know that there's nothing but fabrications in there. I
Yeah,
mean, we all know that. But I
we
mean,
all know that.
yeah, I was
We
just
all know
saying
that.
earlier on, if Sandy and Frankie had have come on when they found out that Claire was the lawyer,
Mhm.
and I know the panic that Mama was having, because I was on outies, I think that day she came up and has anyone seen Claire, and I know she was looking for Claire and
Yeah.
nobody could get a hold of Claire. And so she was sort of just stonewalling everybody. Like if she had to come back on, like maybe later on that day or the next day with Frankie and said, "Look, I don't know what's happened. I'm really sorry. We've just found out." Well, she wouldn't have anything to be sorry for, but she could have just said, "Look, as far as we knew, Claire was a solicitor, and we're shocked and upset." And we would have been backing them. We would have backed them. I would have
Well,
said, "Oh my God, that's a horrible thing that somebody has done to you." Oh my God. They would have had more backing if they had come out and said that.
Well, I just want to remind y'all that that weekend everything went down. They realized she wasn't a lawyer, and if she's not a lawyer, what's going to happen now? So everything that sparked that,
Yeah.
here we are 4 years later, and it's it's ironic in a way, but not. I guess I'm not that articulate yet. Let me have some more coffee. But yeah, they contacted me. Audi and them contacted me and said, "What are we going to do? What are we going to do?"
Yeah.
And but that I was worried. Everybody was talking about the strikes and her not being a lawyer and what's going to happen with the lawsuit. But if they had done that, things would have been a lot different. But I heard you say they bite in the hand that feeds you. That's their history. That's what they did, and that's what they've done. So we can't rewrite history, no matter how much we would try to.
No, we can't. It's just such a shame. It's just such a shame that they didn't say, "Well, hang on a second. If it comes out that she isn't, and this all the evidence that's been compiled, it can't be used because it's gone through her hands. She's compiled it, which they did. They tried to push it through on a statement from one of his associates, Cone Davis associates,
Well,
and
no, they tried to push it through with some strong arming language and some
oh no,
letters to
they did,
shake them down with
did
some
do
cash.
that. Oh yeah,
And
no,
when
they
that didn't happen, obviously, yeah.
no,
So
they absolutely
now,
did do
do
that,
I want
but
him to
it's
win? No, I don't want any. This thing has dragged on, and the
fine.
only reason, like I said, it's still hanging on by a thread is because AD couldn't get a fucking lawyer,
Yeah.
and that should have been thrown out a long time ago. There was nothing there. Everything
Mm,
that it was based on is bullshit, and everybody's seen the particulars of the claim by now.
yeah. Yeah.
So the whole thing was based on just fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
So do I hope he wins? No,
No. Well, to
no.
be honest with you, I don't hope. I hope neither of them win, and I know that can't. That probably can't happen. But they both
I hope
just
it
need
gets
to leave
thrown
it to
out.
them. Yeah. I mean, I would love it to be thrown out. I really would, because I think it's the biggest waste of time. It's the biggest amount of money that we've all a money waster. It just. I mean, I probably would have had a better time if we had dug a hole and put all that money in and burned it. You know,
God,
That's
doing one
essentially
hell of a
what
party
we did
with
do.
it. That, yeah, I do. I think it was just I don't want to say, well, it was. look, if you look at the meat and bones of it, just the bare bones of it, it was just, it's based on lies. It's
Mm.
based on fuckery. What they
Yep.
compiled wasn't what they actually used in the lawsuit, wasn't anything that he did when we were here. He was using shit that had happened because everything that they had compiled up to that point did have to be thrown out. They had to wait so long, which is why
Yeah.
it was filed that March, particularly of the claim, because they had to wait. So by
Yeah.
then, by the definition of defamation, you only have a certain window of time to do that, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So those things that they were using were the things that were based around what? The Crowd Justice Fund and what he said about, or actually what he said was a threat, which wasn't a threat, and it wasn't made to Frank Russo Jr. He said it
Sure.
to his dad regarding the strikes, but they
Okay.
used that as a threat, malicious
Oh,
language, which it wasn't even directed at him. So
yeah.
it's all fuckery. It's all bullshit, right?
But
When you see it
AD
at the end of the
brings
day.
up brings up a point here about them being unable to serve him because they couldn't find him or something, and that's why it didn't happen sooner. Like they kept saying, "Oh, he's been served. He's been served." He hadn't been served.
No, they filed paperwork with the court, and I swear to God, are you serious? They filed paperwork with the court to send him an email.
Uh-huh.
What do you mean you couldn't find him? You
Yeah.
served him shakedown letters, Cohen,
Yeah.
demanding money.
Yeah. Well, that's what he's saying. They're saying that, oh, they couldn't find him, and AD is kind of mentioning that, but like nonsense really. He's brought up a few things. That yeah, I mean, like I can't understand any judge not reading like okay, he's read Frankie said, why wouldn't they read two sides of the story in order to get a full picture of what's going on? I didn't like that.
Well, the first judge didn't want to do that because I don't know why what happened, but hopefully this one does. And again, I don't know
Yeah.
all the ins and outs. Jen is much more clued into that than I am.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
the
Oh, I know.
But everything I hear, she hears something, she always tells me, and I spoke to her the last couple of days.
Yeah.
That's why I said this must have just come out with the time difference. She's not on it yet, but she will be.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I was saying that earlier on. I was like, look, folks, keep an eye out for JC's channel because she will do a deep dive into this, and I'm sure with yourself, and she'll go over every point by point. But I'm just
and
doing
she'll
a
go,
gloss.
and she'll talk to, well, like he had she had one of his mods up on the other night, right? And they'll come in and I know that she gets communications from them.
Yeah.
I know that Daryl. That's why I asked, does he watch any of this crap still? Does he bother watching any of this crap? Just that was my own curiosity, because if anybody has actually been quiet about it, let's be honest, it's been him. It hasn't been Frank Rusek supporters, those that genuinely still support him, that go around talking for him, and his family,
Yeah.
that attack people and harass people. They haven't shut the fuck up about anything. That's the
Yeah.
only reason why we're still here. I mean, let's be honest.
I know.
There's so much stuff that they should have let in and they haven't. That stuff with the Crown Justice Fund was fucky from day one, and that it directly affects your Cohen. That's your Cohen's baby, not Frankie Russek's, even though it's in his
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
I want to see how that's going to play out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I'm
wanted
just
that thing shut
forward.
down so badly, Wiccan. I wanted that shut down so long ago. We fought. We really did try to get that shut down.
I know. I know we did, but lawyer talks and everybody else walks. As you said, that's his baby. He was sort of tight in with them, and I think the most that we could have done, which we did do, was get that comment section removed, because
Yeah.
I was very unhappy with that. They were using my name, they were using my business name, and I was
Yeah.
very, very unhappy. And I know I passed on the information of the woman that I was speaking to. She's a lovely woman. I passed on her information to Cass, and I think he passed it on to somebody else. So we all, within the hour of being in contact, that it was removed. Well, so
But I don't know. I don't know. I think of all the collateral. That's my word again for today. Now it's collateral damage. I just think of all the fuckery that's ensued and all the shit that's been done to everybody by people like
and
Martin and Helen and them.
I,
And it's just fucking not worth it.
No, but do you know, I think I'm at the point now where I find it hard to now sort of differentiate between the actual evidence for the case and all the fuckery that went on with everybody. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to separate the two now.
It really is.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
so hard to
because
separate the two.
that's that's how those lines. I mean, I, somebody used the word boundaries the other day, which is one that I always say. I mean, there is no
Yeah.
boundary these people won't cross, and they did
Mm-hmm.
it. We saw it with Crowd Justice Fund. We saw it when it came to the fundraising. The lies that are told
Yeah.
to defend this boondog. Nobody. I mean, if anybody should be defending it, and if this was a big W in their court, don't you think that he'd be growing that to the moon and back? And
Yeah.
wouldn't he be starting his next round of fucking lawsuits? I'm still waiting for those.
Yeah. Or the Netflix documentary.
Where's that big documentary that old Martin and them were working on? That we
We
were supposed to be the villains in. I'm still
oh
waiting for that.
Oh, what? No, this is the funny part because Martin was saying it's going to be a Netflix documentary. And I said, oh, okay, give me 5 minutes. I remember I was talking to Kiss at the time. I said, give me 5 minutes. And I said, I'll be back to you with some news. So, I've worked in TV and film and I have friends sort of all over the place,
Yeah.
which you do, you kind of, you meet people and you stay in contact because, work and this, that, and the other. So it's really handy to know people and all over the place. So I contacted him. So I said, come here, do me a favor. I said, will you have a look at your list coming up for this year, next year? Like, it's kind of like their chaser list, which is everything that's booked to be to start filming. Is I asked him, was there anything in pre or post or anything in the works at the moment? And he said, absolutely not, nothing, absolutely nothing with anything to do with them. So I said, okay, that's great. Thank you very much. So I
Yeah.
was like, no, there is no Netflix documentary,
And
and
let me tell you the shit I mean, think about the extent of his social media usage right now.
yeah.
That isn't very popular.
Mm,
So I don't see how they could follow up with that, especially from the social media aspect of it.
yeah.
That's
I
just my
mean,
opinion.
is it possible that he has a couple of YouTubers making one for him? Oh yeah, absolutely. But there is no,
I don't
highly
think so.
polished.
Nobody on YouTube. He is poisoned. They are poisoned on YouTube. Let's be honest. Come on, Wiccan.
Oh
That's
no,
my
I know
opinion.
that. I know.
You
Listen, I
don't see
agree. But
him.
he still has Martin and Twinkie and whatever else those people are called.
Oh, those are a bunch of fucking Those are some professional
Oh yeah,
trolls. That's
yeah,
all they are.
exactly.
They're
Yeah.
trolls.
Oh, just me. How you doing, honey? Yeah. So, like, I mean, he still has those people, I think, in his back pocket. Maybe not. And isn't it funny though that the amount of things that have come out in the past couple of years, especially the last couple of years, Martin. Oh my God, being the sad excuse for a human being that he is. You know, uh, Everything's been found out about him now, and he can't pass himself off as Mr. Richie Rich or Mr. Wonderful or Mr. Highly Intelligent because he's not any of the above.
No. So like I said, when you lay down with dogs, you're gonna get up with fleas. And those
Oh,
chickens have come home to fucking roost.
oh, haven't they
And
just?
oh
Yeah.
my God.
Hey,
And
Sheila.
I thought that was funny. So y'all know the other day I had a conversation after our live stream the other night. I took a little nap actually.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't mean to, but I did. I fell asleep after I was on with JC the other night, and
Oh,
then I got up and she was messaging me, and I facetiously called her the queen of chat GPT, which she didn't quite get. She's like, "No, that's Sophia Dell, and this is why I call her that." And I was like, "Never mind, Jen, just forget it. You didn't get it. It just went over your head." So the next day, she said that the cartoon loon had hit her channel, or she did whatever. And
okay.
she said she left this edited post. I said, it would be funny. Put that into chat. I don't want to read it, Jen. I don't care what she said. Just put it into chat GPT for me and tell me what it says. So that's what she did. And I see
Look,
that she put it out as a video. Did y'all see that shit? That was hilarious.
it was so funny. I couldn't stop laughing. I'm actually gonna have to watch it again because that had me in tears laughing. Just even the attitude of it.
I know. I was like, that is just, oh my gosh. It's so, yeah, yeah, yeah. I said,
Brilliant.
thank you for that. And because she was calling me an asshole. She was being very mean to me, Wicked. When I said
Oh,
that
do you
she
want me
was the
to go
queen
and
of chat, I said that. I said, who is the question? Who's the chat GPT or whatever queen now?
yeah.
And she didn't get it. And I was like, never mind, it went over your head. And she's like, you're such a fucking asshole, Samantha. And I was like, oh.
Oh
She
Lord.
put she put extra syllables in my name and everything, within Samantha. I was like, oh my god, so mean. People don't
But,
realize how mean she is in real life. They'll think
oh,
she's this nice
do you want me to give her a
hothead.
slap on the back of the head for you? Will I?
Please,
Okay, I'll
somebody,
give her a
please
slap.
do that.
I'll
That
give
was
her.
just unnecessary. She used my full moniker, extra syllables, called me an asshole.
How very dare she?
I know. And then the next day, she tells me that I won the internet and all that. She's trying to get back on my good side. I said,
Mm, yeah, she does that. Yeah, she does that. How very
see
dare
how
you?
she is? See how she is?
No, I
You try
just
to get
find it
rid of her.
laughable. Like Helen is constantly saying that we're telling people like wrong information and all that kind of thing. We've never told anybody any wrong information. What we've done is we've taken it from case boards, because I'm on case boards as well. Like JC, she suggested everybody do it, so we can all kind of keep an eye on it. When she first, I think, clicked into it and had the stuff, and I said, okay, that's a good idea. I'll do it too. But I'm not as good at checking it as she is. But
But there are also people that I guess are more in the know and they get in touch with her. And
yeah, no,
he
yeah,
compiled his defense, and everybody should be able, just like with Claire. Let's
mm,
go back 4 years ago. Claire said that she had her godson at the IPO office, and he was going to rush through this judgment for her so that way she could have a judgment, right?
I
It
know.
doesn't work like that. We all know it doesn't work like that. It wasn't even the right office to begin with. But
No.
secondly, everybody has a right to defend themselves. I don't care which country you're
Hang on a
in. You
second.
should.
Sorry.
Don't beat your dog online. People can hear you. You're gonna have all
Jesus.
these people.
Christ.
You're gonna have all these people claiming dog abuse, animal abuse, animal abuse.
Oh, well, let them. No, they go absolutely ape shit when the crows are out in the garden or the horses are going by. They go absolutely ape shit. They want to go out and play with them,
So does
but they don't want
John.
to play
So
with the
does
cow.
John. Isn't that strange? He acts the same way.
Say that again.
I said, so does John. Whenever they go
Oh,
by, he goes absolutely ape shit.
oh Lord. Yeah, I mean, as I was just saying earlier on, I was like, look, I'm not begging anybody to believe us or listen to us because we've got the truth. Don't believe me if you don't want to, or JC, but please don't listen to Helen either. If you want to get the truth and you get the information firsthand, join case boards, and then you'll be able to see absolutely everything that's happening.
Well,
And
no, I'd
you know,
say if you want the truth, listen to JC, because she's just going to give you the facts every goddamn
oh,
time.
absolutely, absolutely. But because people see her as being like it's a them and an us type of
Oh,
situation, which I
yeah.
understand. So,
They know she's telling the truth. They'd rather
of
rip
course,
out their
she's
own
telling
tongue
the
than
truth.
say so. They'll make it into she's hairy, angry, shouty Jeff.
Oh yeah, I know. Of
Yeah,
course, she's telling
that's what they'll
the
do.
truth. She always tells the truth. But if they don't want to be biased, just get on case boards. Go onto case boards, sign up for it, and you'll get the notifications every time something new happens with that case. Let it be just a piece of paper being filed. It'll come up as something happening with the case, whatever, whatever, whatever. And then you're hearing it straight from the horse's mouth, and then you don't have to take anybody else's information on if you don't want to.
It shouldn't be,
But
but that's the thing. Nothing should be coming from us. It should have been coming from Ruseck Jr. himself, the honest
I
truth
know,
the whole time.
yeah. But sure, the reason
So,
half of the reasons he was taking him to court is lies. It's all lies. Like how can you take
at the
somebody to court
beginning,
for lies?
it wasn't. But then Claire Morgan happened and fucked everything up, and they had to start over. And what they had were those instances like you see in the particulars of claim, which is all bullshit.
Mm.
So that's what he's been fighting, ever since. So
But the fact that he said he had no criminal record.
what he
He said,
does,
yeah. But that's not how in the name of God did he think that was never going to be found out over this side of the pond? How?
he
I
took
mean,
it for granted that Lenny Posner and the Honor Network were going to have it completely scrubbed, but he wasn't able to get it completely scrubbed before people caught it.
yeah. Yeah, so he was prepared. He was lying. He was prepared to lie, and so was Mama. She was very, very vocal about her son never being a day's trouble in his life. He's never been in ever arrested. You know, that how did that age? It didn't age well. Now, in fairness, did it? Or so what if
That's
Claire?
my new.
That's
That,
kind of coming
let
back
that
to
be your
bite
comeback.
me.
Let that be your comeback from now on. Like me, why are y'all so salty? I'm not the one with the mugshot. Shit, Frank Russo Jr. is. Y'all coming at me like I'm the con or I'm the criminal here.
Yeah,
I ain't Frank Russo Jr. I ain't never
exactly.
been in jail.
Yeah,
Let that be the. That's what I'll say, and I have said that. And I know that
yeah.
probably pissed them off, and I hope it did. But it's the truth,
It is the
you
truth.
know.
I've never been in jail either. I've never been arrested. I wouldn't know what the inside of a police cell looks like or anything to do with it. The
No.
only time I go near
Were
the cops
you
is,
were, were you around when they put out that fake police record of mine when they doxed me way back
of
when
yours.
in the day?
No,
Yeah, AD and Dr. B and them, they put out this fake police record and said I had all these serious charges and I had my kids
you
taken
are
off of me.
joking me.
No, I'm not. I have it somewhere. I'll pull it up and show y'all one day.
Oh,
I'll
you
have to
have
send
to.
it to you. It's fucking hilarious. And somebody said they get that information from those data sites. You just put in whatever, right? So
Yeah.
she said, type in, I can't remember who it was in my comment section, said, type in the actual number there and see what comes up. And I'm
Yeah.
typing, so I go online and I put in this case number, whatever it is. And it's like some con named Juan or Jose Morrison or something like that, from California, having speeding in a school zone and had like half a joint on him or something like that. I can't remember
Yeah.
what the other ones were, but I was like,
Was
are you fucking kidding?
the
And then they
delinquent
said I had my kids,
one
plural,
was
kids taken off of me. I said, I only have one as far as I know. She's still very much with me. So don't gotta worry about it. But that's fine. And at that time, I was such a baby YouTuber. I was baby salty, right? I was like, I can't believe people do this shit for each other. Yeah, they
yeah,
fucking do.
yeah,
And so after that, it was like, what's the worst anybody calling me a rat? Do you think that bothers me? They put
yeah,
out the floor plan. They put out the floor plans to my fucking house and showed where I was in my house with a particular
yeah,
photo or video that I filmed. I mean, that is
yeah.
some
I
serious
have a
stalkerish
vague
shit.
recollection of that. I do have a vague recollection of that, and I think you were
Jesus
talking
Christ.
about it outside while the trains were going past. I do remember that you were
Like, are
outside
you
talking
fucking
about it. You were
kidding me?
so upset about
So
that.
there's, yeah, that stalkerish shit is the same shit that stalkerish people like Helen and them did as well. It turns
Yeah,
out, still saying, I'm still there. No, 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 no. Long gone from that place, sis. But New Braunfels is not a very big town. And it does have a train museum. And it does crisscross a lot of train tracks, crisscross in New Braunfels because we're right there in Central Texas. And
but like,
everybody, coming up through Mexico up to through and all the way down from Canada, going down to Mexico. I mean, it
but
is what
that
it is. But
aside, who the hell like says, "Oh, I know it's the same train because I heard it." Oh,
yeah,
really? Okay.
it's fucking crazy. All trains kind well, I don't want to say all trains kind of sound alike. We also have this little kiddie train in Landa Park, if you want to look that up, Helen, in New Braunfels, Texas, Landa, Landa. It's got its own train as well. So that's fun. That one sounds a little bit different because it's so much smaller than the others. But I mean, yeah, it's just crazy, isn't it? And here we are talking about it, and I hope this gets shoved up. I hope they drop it. I mean, I hope the judge says there's really nothing here, and this is bullshit. So y'all wasted everybody's time.
Well, nothing's
Fuck
going to
off.
happen till the new year. Nothing's happening now till the
Oh,
new year.
oh,
I just
oh,
had to post.
oh.
I just had to post Cassius's comment there. I've checked her criminal record.
Oh, mine. He
Yeah.
said he. I believe John actually looked to see. Did you actually see if I was a felon? Did you see if I was a convict? You probably did, you freak. I love you
No,
though.
I doubt it.
I'm gonna pull up what you sent me and I'm gonna go over this again if you don't mind, because I'm a little bit more awake.
I did. So fucking really did.
You looked at my criminal record?
You found
Oh my god.
You know the non-existent one.
My non existent family.
Holy shit!
Oh yeah, he said I'm like Pablo Escobar. Fuck off, John. That's what I said to, and I'll keep saying it. That was my joke to JC. And I remember talking about this on a live stream, and Lizzie was out there, and all of us, we were having a good time. And they said, I wish they could have given me good charges, at least put something on me that would make me look like a badass,
Yeah,
instead of just make up something cool, Hey,
yeah. A cool
who is
crime.
the Yeah, like the female Pablo Escobar, that one. Who was that one? They made a movie with Catherine Zeta-Jones played the drug cartel
Oh
queen
yeah,
or whatever it
yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
that, like that, where I'm having
Well, why couldn't
assassins run down
her?
by motorcycles. Shit, that's something.
Why couldn't you be her? For God's sake, Salty, come on,
Oh,
give us some
so
juicy.
boring.
Give us something
Make
juicy.
me like the real nurse Ratchet. I was killing my patients or something. I mean,
Oh, you were killing your patients as well. Wow,
that's what Martin was saying.
wow,
I was abusing all of their drugs and probably killing them and abusing them severely.
wow.
Fuck's sake.
Well, you heard it here first. You heard it here first.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that last part out loud, but I did. I figured go big or go home. Not abuse, just killing them, outright killing them. Like Lucy Letby, the Texas version. We
Oh
used to have
Lord.
that Janine Jones, that case. Looked out. Oh, wicked! I was gonna message you. I was up so late because I finished listening to that book I was telling you about. Remember the
Oh
one that
yeah.
I was listening to you about the Yorkshire? Okay, so then I started listening to one that came up, and I said, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pay for it. I'm gonna go ahead and listen to it because sometimes I listen to books and I don't read them no more, so that way I can multitask. And it was called While Idaho Slept, about the Coburn
Oh
case.
oh.
Yes,
And
I've already finished most of it.
it's good.
Have you read it? Have you read
No.
it? Oh, girl. And you know what? Because I wasn't into that case. And then you were talking about it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm going to go ahead and give this a listen and just see if I
Mm.
can get into it. If I can get into it, then I'll keep listening to it. And I was listening to it all night long. And it was really, really good. And I appreciated the fact, and this is what got me though. I'm going to pull up let me pull up the thingies so that way I can read this to you really, really
Sure.
quickly. And then we'll go back to PD because, he's so important. Um, what got me was okay, just listen. Okay, let me read this to you. This is what got me. Okay. What okay, it's called While Idaho Slept. It's a thought-provoking literary of a small town murder investigation as traditional investigators, citizens sleuths,
You're
true crime
breaking.
media acted, sometimes together, often in conflict, to uncover the truth. So it's a deep dive into how social media really infiltrated this case and how it's infiltrating others.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. But I
I
just
think I
can't.
lost you,
No, you're here. You're okay.
and maybe I lost my. Yeah, hold on. My
Oh
other
shit.
connection connected. Stupid earbuds.
Yeah, you keep breaking up. You're okay
Can you hear?
without your earbuds. I can hear you perfectly fine
No, I'm not
without your.
here.
Oh, it's an earbud. It's an earbud connection situation. Let me see. Hey, Fancy, how's it going? Let me see who I missed. Hey, Cassius. Ba-da-da-dum. Who else did I miss? Did I miss anybody? I hope I didn't. Okay. Back up. Right. Okay. Let me read who says what now. Hi,
Now,
everyone.
can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, girly.
That sucks. My other Bluetooth headset always connects when I keep connecting it. But anyway, what part did you not hear? All of
I
it.
did. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so this is what got me. It said it's a thought-provoking literary chronicle of a small-town murder investigation, blistering beneath the unceasing light of international interest as traditional investigators, citizen sleuths, and the
Mhm.
online true crime media acted, sometimes together, to solve this crime. So it's really like how the online interest in social media infiltrated the case and others like it. And that's
Okay.
what got me. So I thought that
Yeah.
was really interesting.
Oh,
And it
yeah. I
was
think I
really
might
good.
get that.
It's really good. It's really good so far. I'm
Yeah.
almost
What do you make of that case?
I think it's awfully sad, and I will say that I mean it's pretty to me it's pretty clear cut, and they do talk. I know you mentioned like lack of blood in the crime scene photos, but I think a lot of that was wiped out, edited
No,
out because
that
they
was
said
that
that
was
it
the way
was
they found it. No, this is where
no
it
because
gets
the
very.
investigate in here and the investigators, when they're speaking, they talk about how I mean it was really really bad. It was really bad.
But yet they say they couldn't
So
get any prints or footprints.
they did with under that not it's not the it wasn't OnStar was something. OnStar, Blue Star. Sorry, OnStar, Blue Star. It's the same to me right now. It's a different kind of chemical that they use. But I'm at the end, so I mean, obviously we know that he pled guilty, but I don't think in this when this came out, unless they edited it,
Mm.
they picked him up, and it talks about each of the victims' lives, and then like Kober's life, and so it's not just about the crime itself.
Yeah,
He
good.
hasn't really talked. We haven't really gotten to that part yet. I'm at,
Okay, cool.
I'm like in part six of it. So, but so far it's really, really good. I was just gonna say, if you haven't listened to it, I'd highly recommend it to anybody that's interested in case. It's called
Oh
While
God, yeah,
Idaho Slept.
yeah.
Read it, listen to it. It's really, really good.
Oh, I'll definitely
Um,
listen to it. I find it hard during the day, when I would love to be reading, but I've got stuff to do. So that's when I generally play audiobooks, so I
yeah.
can listen while I'm working away, doing my bits and pieces.
Mhm,
Like, so, yeah,
mhm.
I love audiobooks for that. But I do love a
That's,
solid book when I go to bed, I do
I
like
do
to,
too. I do
yeah.
too. But then sometimes it's just like I, it, it just depends. It really
Oh, yeah.
depends. There are books
Yeah.
that I
If
would
I'm
like to have in
tired,
in
yeah.
old
If
format.
I'm,
I love a good book, and I used to collect. I had a great book collection, and I miss my books, but it is what it is.
I
I
know,
love my Scottish Kraken more, and I could always start another collection. I can have one from when I'm here, for
of
while
course you
I'm
can.
here, right? There you
Yeah.
go. So
You could have a new
that's the way I
collection.
look at it. I could have
Absolutely.
lots of
Collection.
collections. So, but if anybody's interested in that case, I highly recommend that book. So far, so good. I just got done reading Wicked Beyond Belief about the Yorkshire Ripper because I figured my UK. I was telling this to John that, and to you, I think
Yeah.
that when you think of the UK or crimes over here, the Morris murders, Fred and
Yeah.
Rose West.
Yeah.
And so my knowledge is kind of limited. And I know the Yorkshire Ripper was a big one, but I didn't know anything about him. And I didn't realize
Okay.
it took so fucking long to catch that nasty
Oh, yeah.
piece of shit bass. I had
Yeah.
no idea. But
Yeah.
the book was really, really good. It was a solid 28 hours
Oh,
that I
good.
devoted to that. Yeah,
Mm.
but it was a deep dive into it, and it was really, really good. And yeah, yeah, I'm pretty well versed in him now. I think I
Yeah.
don't want to
Peter
read anything else
Sutcliffe.
on him.
Yeah.
Peter
He was
Sutcliffe.
so sick. He was just a horror of a human being. He really was. And look,
He's
even
a
his
nasty
picture, when you
bastard.
look at him, his eyes, there's something, very soulless about the man. But I
It's like
think
he's
he looks
dead
like,
inside.
sorry?
It's like he was dead inside.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see it in his eyes. There's nothing there. Well, there is
I
something
know
there.
we're probably. I'm sorry if I'm boring everybody in the chat talking about what I'm reading,
You're breaking up again, babe.
but
You're breaking up
I'm
again.
sorry if boring everybody. But
No, you're
God
not. You're just
damn it,
breaking up.
I blame I blame Martin Dehan for this shit.
I do too. He's hacking you.
Fucking fucking fuck.
Martin, feck off hacking her. Leave her alone. Mr. Hack.
I only want Cassius. I only want Cassius to hack me. Nobody else. Damn it.
Mr. Hacky Pants.
Oh
Yeah.
God. Okay, so back to ED. That's what I was doing. I was pulling it up so I could read those what you sent me. That's what I was doing,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
got sidetracked about the books. Okay, so let's read this. Did you read it out
Perfect.
loud?
No, I couldn't because I can't be on here and read it at the same time because I'm on my phone.
Not on my phone. This is
I
this is
did
where
write the points
having
down,
where the
but
one phone comes in handy.
yeah,
Uh,
I know.
but
I
you
did
did have
have
to
two
do that.
phones. So anyway, go for it, Mrs.
Um, did y'all read it? Did anybody see this? Did you post it?
I didn't post it.
I'm
No.
just asking. You didn't post it? Has anybody heard this yet or
Yeah,
no?
I think JC's posted it earlier on. She typed it out and she has made a post. I think she's done that it was probably late last night, but our early morning.
Ah,
Uh-huh.
okay. Yeah. So key issues put before the Court of Appeal. So as of right now, I thought he wasn't allowed an appeal. Isn't that what these heifers have been telling
Yeah.
us? He's not allowed to appeal. Okay.
Yeah.
One, Remedies hearing transcript not ordered. The transcript from the 13th of February 2025 remedies hearing was never ordered by the claimant's legal representatives, despite the High Court operating under the belief that it was in process. CRATU, C-R-A-T-U, later confirmed no transcript request had ever been submitted. Shocker. Cohen Davis dropped the ball and lied about it. 2. Remedies evidence never served. Remedies evidence due in July of 2025 was not served on Vinicum, leaving him unable to respond to allegations made at that stage. 3. Defense and evidence not read before judgment. 2 judges confirmed Vinicum's defense and evidence were not read before judgment was entered in the High Court. This raises serious Article 6, in quotations, or in parentheses, fair trial concerns. Okay. 4, withdrawal of exemplary damages, those things that he never really wanted in the first place, so it's no big deal. You know?
Yeah, of course not.
The claimant withdrew the claim for exemplary damages 4 days after the Court of Appeal sought clarification regarding the evidential issues. Oh, that still pisses me off. Fundraising and representation issues now submitted to the court. 5, contradictions in the Crowd Justice fundraising statements. The Crowd Justice campaign contained statements later contradicted by official documents, including claims regarding the claimant's background and circumstances. We know this to be absolutely true.
Yep.
Contradictions. See, I can't see. This is, oh God, I wish to God I could see what it was that they filed with the court when it comes to the Crowd Justice. Because we all know how fucked up that was. And we all know.
Just a second. So what's happening with him lying about Frankie, saying Frankie was lying about his criminal record?
I don't know. Let's see. Let's keep reading.
Well, there's been no judgment made really yet because the judge hasn't gone through his stuff yet.
Okay.
So yeah.
So okay. So number 6, excuse me. No criminal record claim versus official documents. The fundraiser asserted the claimant had no criminal record. Official U.S. court records now placed before the Court of Appeals show that was not accurate. So there you go, up your fucking ass. Up your ass. So now the courts have it.
Yep.
Jesus, because I know that they were compiling all of this, and they also got my private StreamYard. Y'all know that. I told y'all that the other night. They got all of that. So yeah, no wonder why they didn't want to. Let's just withdraw the claim. Did they think that I would ask.
For exemplary.
If you withdraw that, Wicked, does that mean we still want the win, but we don't have to show you anything?
I don't know. That's the honest answer to that. I don't know. I just know they've withdrawn the exemplary damages. We all know what that is. It's like extra money for pain and suffering and all that bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So number 7, false donation entries displayed on Cohen Davis website. For an extended period, the law firm's website displayed donations under the names of Vinicum, his family, and other individuals who did not make those donations. These entries remained online until Crowd Justice intervened and removed all posted donations, and that included Wicked. Don't forget.
Yep.
The Claire Morgan issue. We're on number 8. Claire Morgan issue. I think it might have been cut off here. Screenshots provided to the Court of Appeal. Oh, then it's missing.
It's there.
I don't see anything under there. Let me click on it.
Go to the next one. It'll be there.
The Claire Morgan screenshots provided to the Court of Appeal, and the next one says relief sought.
Okay, go to the next one. I don't know if they were in order.
Well, I thought it was.
You see, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, and then it goes 1, 2, 3 again. So it's
Now, on number 8, Claire Morgan issue, it just kind of, that's a big relief sought. In light of the above, the Court of Appeal is being asked to state all enforcement and remedies, require the claimant to provide security for cause, consider whether the claim should be dismissed and struck out, and make any further case management orders necessary to protect fairness and integrity of the appellate process. So, from him, I guess this says statement from Alan Vinicum. This is the first time all the evidence, contradictions, procedural failures, and fundraising issues have been placed in front of senior judges. I'm asking the Court of Appeal to stop remedies, order security of costs, and consider whether this claim should continue at all. My only aim is to ensure fairness and transparency. And you know what? To give AD credit, you know what? Nothing from Cohen Davis or the Ruseks has ever been fair or transparent.
Very
there
true.
you go.
Yeah, it's very true.
My,
So I
my
think,
salty
yeah, I think if all this has gone in and it's all been correct, worded right, set up right and correct and everything else, I still don't understand how a judge can rule on something without hearing both sides. I really don't understand how any judge can do that. And
Oh yeah, okay. So it wasn't put in order. So let me start this at the very beginning. It said for immediately. Okay, so Armchair Detective files Court of Appeal publication application citing serious procedural failures, fundraising irregularities, and SLAP concerns.
Yeah.
Alan Wincombe, known online as the Armchair Detective or the Purdy Frog, has filed a comprehensive application with the Court of Appeal in case CA 2025-000733, asking the court to stay all enforcement and remedies proceedings, consider dismissing the underlying high court claim, order the claimant to provide security for costs, and examine whether the litigation displays SLAP characteristics, strategic lawsuit against public participation. The filing brings forward a consolidated set of concerns that, according to Wincombe, were never examined properly during the original High Court proceedings. And as we all know now, 4 years later, they never were. They really weren't examined. Key issues put before the Court of Appeal in front of it. Okay, so I'm trying to see what's that. SLAP indicators raised. Here we go. Wincombe's application invites the Court of Appeal to consider whether the litigation bears hallmarks of a SLAP, including retaliatory comments made publicly by the claimant. That's happened.
Here we go.
Attempts to silence or punish online commentary. That seriously fucking happened. Even with people like us that used to support this boondog.
Yeah.
Reliance on fundraising claims later shown to be contradictory. That's fucking true.
Yeah.
What are you raising money to pay this lawyer, or is he doing it pro bono, dickhead?
Yeah. Which is it? Is it pro bono or are you paying him? Which is it?
Yeah, exactly. And did he say he paid him out of his own pocket, even though he didn't have any money?
Yeah.
So
Bullshit.
you want to talk about contradictions? Which is it? Yeah. That was my favorite thing back in the day. Which is it? Let's play which is it today. Okay. As a pattern of pressure, threats, and online hostility linked to the claimant's supporters. Oh.
Yep.
Well, we all know that to be fucking true. A pattern of pressure, threats, and online hostility linked to claimant supporters like Helen Schaefer, Martin Dehan, Sabine Borg, Linda Kingsland, Christine C. And I won't say your last name yet. Christine C. We'll just leave there.
Yeah.
Let's read that again. A pattern of pressure, threats, and online hostility linked to the claimant's supporters.
Yep.
How few you number, you pathetic pieces of shit.
Yep.
Well, what's the fucking last name?
That's not in this press release. That's just me. Okay. Relief sought. In light of the above, the Court of Appeal is being asked to stay all enforcement remedies, require the claimant to provide security for costs, consider whether the claimant should be dismissed and struck out, and make any further case management integrity. But where it says the Claire Morgan thing, that's just disappeared. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm looking. It's not here.
Oh, it should be.
It's not.
It should be.
It's not.
Oh, damn it. Okay, read at the very top of every one. Like, look, see where the last one
I
is.
have.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
Where did you get those? Are those on JC's? Let me see.
No. I got it from one of my friends. But let me see. Is anybody else here? Oh, you know what? Can somebody send those screenshots of AD stuff to Cass, please? There's just one I obviously didn't send. I obviously missed out on one. If somebody wouldn't mind sending the Claire Morgan bit to Cass. So
I really like that last one. The hostility from the claimant's supporters. Hostility and online. Oh,
Yeah.
actions taken by his supporters, that can't be. And you know what? Let's just say this right now, all of us that once supported this bullshit, we are testament to that.
Oh yeah.
We are all testament to that. And old Mark Dehan's disappearance pretty much from social media because of
Yeah.
his fuckery and his threats and everything else is testament to that.
Yep.
Oh my God. My coffee's kicking in. Wicked, can you tell?
No, I'm just wondering
Okay.
how's all this
Oh,
working out for you folks now, huh? How's all this working out for you folks now?
Okay, let me
So
see.
what
I'm
is so
reading.
and
The
so
Claire Morgan
like?
issue. I got it in front of me. Okay. So the
Oh,
Claire
good.
Morgan issue. Number 8, Claire Morgan issue. Screenshots provided to the Court of Appeals show Claire Morgan engaging in an active role within the case in the fundraising campaign, despite questions over her role and the accuracy of certain statements attributed to her.
Mm-hmm.
Another major issue now in front of the Court of Appeal is the reliability of the claimant's evidence. Oh, thank Jesus.
Yep.
The entire case relied heavily on 5 YouTube videos that no longer exist.
Mm-hmm.
There is no original footage, no metadata, and no way to verify what was said. Instead, the claimant submitted typed summaries created by a member of Cohen Davis's own staff, not an independent professional transcriber. This means the evidence is hearsay, not in its original form, potentially incomplete or inaccurate, and cannot be independently checked. Yet the High Court relied on these internal notes, even though the underlying videos vanished. The Court of Appeal now has the issue in front of it. I'm so glad.
Yeah, me too.
I am so glad because ever since we read that, and again, I know JC mentioned this, we've been sitting on this ridiculous claim since 2023, right?
Okay.
And she sent me that when she got it, and I went over it, and I'm still flabbergasted by it. And then I kind of put it to, that little place of me that just ignores it forever. And then
Yeah.
she brought it back up and said, you know what, let's go ahead and read this for the people at home because. And I told everybody then I would send it to you if you wanted it. Anybody that wants it, I'll send you a copy. But it's just fucking bullshit. What they used in there is instances of defamation. They're using his claims, which were legit claims that he publicly stated on his YouTube channel regarding the Crowd Justice Fund about the malicious donations, etc., as instances of defamation and harassment. And the fact that AD said that he doesn't have that on there, it says he falsely claims that I have a criminal record when I have no such thing, when that we all know that's not the truth. So yeah, the fundraising, oh my gosh, just seeing how it all played out, knowing that it all came down to the Crowd Justice Fund, a comment he made about Martin Dehan and him saying, drop the strikes, Mr. Rusek, while you still have a chance to before it gets really, before anything else out. Before he didn't want to lose his channels, but he said that he made those threats, malicious threats, intimidating threats to Frank Rusek Jr. when we all know that it was made to Mr. to Jr. or to Mr. Rusek. And then he also said that those claims, the copyrights were made by Frank Rusek Jr. on behalf of his family, and we all know that's not fucking true. So the particulars of claim was just a slap in the face, to all of us. And I was raging, as John would. That's a word y'all use, raging. That's not one I would use. I was raging.
Yeah.
But I'm sure all of you too when we were reading it. But it was bullshit. I know. It was just bullshit. To see how all those chickens, we talked about chickens coming home to roost. Hell yes, they did.
Oh, they're all lining up now. They're all lining up, ready to be patted on the head and counted one by one as they're coming home to roost. But
what's the name of that chicken in Chicken Run? Can anybody tell me that? That's the question. I can see do y'all remember that movie Chicken Run?
Chicken Probably Run, not. Yeah. Oh,
you remember the little chicken, and she has the light blue handkerchief on her head, holding back her little feathers.
Oh, but it was a movie, no?
Yes, it was a livestock action movie.
Yeah, but it's a long time I've seen that. Jesus, it's way.
But for some reason, I got a picture of all those chickens with those big clay googly eyes just staring, and there's Helen Schaefer and Teetsy and Martin Dehan.
Oh Lord. But I want to say something to that. Are you proud of yourselves? Are you proud of yourselves for the way you've behaved throughout this entire thing? Don't ever look at us and say we were the cause of anything, because you lot have caused all of this, not us.
We've been,
We didn't.
we've
We
been
didn't go
saying,
near the crowd justice. We didn't, behave like you people, leaving stupid comments. Why would
all I
that?
said was let the whole thing play out and let it go the
Yeah,
way it's supposed to go. And y'all couldn't
yeah,
just fucking leave it alone. It would have played out very differently if it
exactly.
had. I'll tell
Yeah,
you that. It would have been done by now. It really
yeah.
would have been done.
It-
But no, you couldn't. They
They
couldn't
couldn't leave
do it.
it alone. No, they couldn't leave it alone. I mean, okay, none of us got involved in any of that shit. We stayed way back and let the chips fall where they may. But I will admit to contacting and asking for my money back, because as far as I'm concerned, the money was gathered under somebody who was posing as a solicitor who we believed
Uh,
in. And when we
yeah.
found that it wasn't, none of this was true, and practically all of it was lies. He had a criminal record. I just wanted money back. And I'm like, hang on a
Yeah.
second. So all of it is lies. So basically, it's all lies. All of the things are lies. All lies. All bullshit. So what the fuck have we been doing for the past X amounts of time? Staying up all hours of the night. Fucking fighting their battles when I should have been fighting my own. Do you know what I mean? And just
But it
minding
wasn't just
my
that.
business.
It was also not just asking that, but then him calling you a liar. Frank
Oh
Rusev
yeah.
Jr. calling you a liar, saying that you never
Okay.
sent him money separately, which you showed that you did.
Yeah.
He's never publicly, and that's another one that refuses accountability.
Oh
Just
yeah.
run away and hide and say, "Oh, she's just a lying evil heifer. We're all evil soulless bitches, right?"
I know.
And even when shown proof and evidence shoved up his ass, he still
Mm.
can't admit when he's wrong. And that's another thing they all have in common. You can't
Oh yeah.
admit when you're fucking wrong.
No,
So
they
why
can't.
would they ever do the right thing? Ever.
But no, I know. But when he called me a liar, I was like, "Here, hold me pint." Liar?
Yeah.
Am I really? And because I would never have brought out those receipts. I wouldn't have. I would have never brought out those receipts. Because to be honest, I was a bit embarrassed about it. I felt like I was a bit stupid then. Because I trusted and believed this person. And I felt awfully bad and awfully sorry for him, and just wanted to help them, move on and get this case on the road. And then
And
find
that's
out,
how they got
oh,
so much money. That's how they got so much money out of so many different GoFundMe's and
yeah,
fundraisers on their behalf because people felt sorry for them and thought that they were being honest.
yeah, exactly. And it was all lies, every part of it. From the reason he was taking AD to court to everything. And I think that's the part that hurt so much more than anything else, was the fact that we were all blatantly lied to. And that really
I
hurt.
remember. Yeah. And the conversations, private conversations had with these people, right?
Mm,
And uh, when it came down to the Claire Morgan issue, that it, I will not stop saying this until I'll keep saying this. When they came to me personally for help to begin with, and then came to me to fix
yeah.
up the Claire Morgan situation, they came to me, not
Oh,
anybody else. And there was a reason for that. But they said, and we said at the very beginning, it was never about getting money from him. It was always about the principle. It was the
yes.
principle at the core of it.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
maybe that's why I've been relying so heavily on that word in the last few days, excuse
Mm.
me.
Well, from the
The
outset,
principle.
my understanding was that he wanted like money off AD. That was my understanding for it. He wanted
No,
money.
no, it wasn't about money. It was about him respecting boundaries and not making up lies to financially benefit himself. Now, in the particulars of Clay came out, it was he
Uh,
wanted that money. He didn't
uh,
want AD. They never wanted AD off the internet. They wanted his money from his Watts content,
Oh shit.
yeah.
past and future, past, present, and future. And they
Yeah.
lost all that. They said, now what are they going to do?
Yeah.
So that I said that's another ball that they have to juggle. What are they going to do now? Because
Yeah.
that's
Well,
what they wanted, and that's in the particulars of Claim
yeah.
as well.
Well, it's now a point of, I would imagine, but then again, that's just me. I would a case of cut your losses and just leave it, but they won't. They won't. But like, back to one of the points there that AD made. Hang on a second. I think I had it written down somewhere. Oh yeah, has Junior provided the security of costs? I don't. He never did.
No,
He
he
never.
never did.
So
And while they were waiting for that,
how did the
well,
case go?
what he provided to the court was a half, and it wasn't a full record. Whenever we file taxes as American citizens, right?
Uh-huh.
You have to make a certain amount. If you meet a certain threshold of money, then you file taxes on it. And
Sure.
whenever you receive a paycheck, you typically have Social Security taken out. You have your
Mm-hmm.
federal taxes taken out. You have other things taken out of it, right? I'm
Sure.
losing my voice. I'm sorry.
You're all
It's
right.
coming and going today. And now, if you're an independent contractor, which I have been sometimes in the past, they don't withhold that. What a good marker is to keep 20% and set it to the side. So that way, at the end of the year, when tax time comes, if you have to pay those taxes, you have those taxes to pay. Instead of the employer withdrawing the taxes, they don't. They rely on you to do it because you're an independent contractor. Now, I
Okay.
have filed taxes, not just my own, but I would do it as a favor for one of the family members and different people. I would
Yeah.
do it. I saw that he provided to the court not a full tax record in his W-2. He didn't provide all that, but his major source of income claim was that from YouTube. I saw that, and that
Okay.
was bullshit. And he said that he was indigent, but he didn't make any money on YouTube. But that was his source of income. But he didn't provide the full form. And I told Jen that. Jen saw it. I said,
Yeah.
that's not the full forms. That's not everything. Hold on a second. He didn't even give them everything unless you're missing something. She said, no, this is what he provided the court. And
Wow.
I showed Jen, I said, just out of principle, I'm going to show you what tax records look like. And I started pulling up mine because I will keep mine for a good solid 10 years. I will keep
Sure.
them for I keep them all for 10 years. And once the 10th year drops off, boom, because that's how long you can be audited for
Okay.
any reason.
Okay.
And so I will always have 10 years of tax records. And she said, no, you don't have to show me that. I was like, no, I'm going to. So, what it looks like. You have nothing to compare it to. As a Canadian citizen, you wouldn't know what you're looking at.
Well, that's true.
So, yeah. So I pulled them up and I was showing them to her, and she's like, holy shit. And I said, so it doesn't even show. I mean, he provided not even 2 forms, not even 2 pages. There's usually like 16, 18 pages worth of text, when you file your tax.
Sure.
What the
Yeah.
hell is it? So yeah, I was disappointed when I saw that, and doubly disappointed when I saw that his major source of income was YouTube.
Yeah. And like the idea that he's using depression, and listen, I am sure that this hit them in the worst way possible, in every worst way possible.
Yep.
The loss of 4 family members. I mean, I can't even get my head around that, to be fair. I mean, I'm sure in every which way, but he had depression before this happened.
Yes.
So
Which he couldn't work. As per his FBI interview, he said he couldn't work. He couldn't hold down a job because he had depression, anxiety, insomnia, blah 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 blah.
yeah.
So AD didn't cause that. And
No.
again, in a particular claim, we saw where he said AD caused him major depression and anxiety, and he's afraid to answer his phone.
FBI interview, he was depressed.
We know that, John. I just said that. It's okay, my sister. Calm down, my Scottish Kraken. I love you. It's okay.
We love you.
He's upset still too every time we bring that up. And
Crows are in the fucking garden, that's why.
What?
The crows are in the garden.
The crows are in the garden.
Oh, crows. Sorry.
You know what? He's kind of watching that movie, The Conjuring, The Last Rites. I don't know if any of y'all have seen it, but we saw it when it first came out, right? Literally, like maybe within 2 days. And then the other day, he saw it on TV, on his Fire Stick, whatever it is. And he's like, oh my God, he didn't remember watching it. He didn't remember seeing it. It's like, your memory can't do that shit.
No, I fell asleep.
You fell asleep.
I
Okay.
watched it during the day.
Okay.
My husband.
He has the worst memory sometimes.
My husband falls asleep no matter what movie we're watching.
I'll watch it again, I'll remember it.
Well, I refuse to go to the movie theater with this man because he talks constantly during a film, during a show. It doesn't matter. He's constantly talking. I won't do that. I won't subject myself to it or other theater goers to his fuckery. when it comes to watching a movie. And there's some movies out that I want to see right now. I want to see Nuremberg with Russell Crowe. I want to see that one.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Look and see what
I
new
mean,
movies are out because I haven't been to the cinema in ages. I really don't like cinemas because to me they're always annoying. Always somebody eating and rattling or on their phone, and it just drives me insane. I end up
that
getting
would be John. That would be Cassie or something that you're talking about.
yeah, and it's insane. You know what I mean? And I'm like, no, I'm not going. I'll wait till it's Sky or something, and I'll stream it. But I'm not going to the cinema.
Well,
Yeah,
he's
so
got that Fire Stick thingy that has every single thing on it. So when new movies come out, they're on there within a day. So,
yeah, it's the same here. My daughter has a thing called a dodgy box. And it sounds dodgy, but I think that's the name of it. But like the Fire Stick, you can get all the new movies out, you can get all the new TV shows, all of that kind of stuff, and you make one payment a year with it. And I thought, oh my god, get one. But
yeah.
because households of County Clare, we don't have broadband, so I don't know if it's such
Oh
a good idea
my.
because we're out in the arseholes of nowhere. So we don't have broadband. No, we have mobile broadband, but not great. Look, it's
Yeah.
fine for just streaming something small and whatever, but watching TV shows and things or movies, that would be a bit of a pain in the ass. You'd be just getting buffering all the time. So,
Oh yeah.
but I think it's worth it just to buy it and have a go. And if it's
Oh,
only one,
that's not worth it. It's not worth it for people like me when he literally has at any one time literally like 80,000 things that he can watch, and instead of watching something, he's just scrolling, and it makes this weird clicking noise every time it goes down. So it's
doom scrolling, I do the same thing, and it drives me crazy. That's why I stop going on watching TV and everything and Netflix because I go on and then I'm like, what do I want to watch? I don't know. Then I start scrolling and oh, that might be good. Oh, this might be good. Before I know it, I've been scrolling for an hour and now I'm not interested in watching anything. I'm just fed up.
Has
So
anybody in the chat been watching the Hulu series, The Murdochs Scandal in the South or Death in the South or whatever it's called on Hulu? Has anybody been watching that?
I don't have Hulu, so maybe I might see if
Well,
I
you can get it on the Fire Stick or the dodgy thing of your daughter's
yeah,
phone.
yeah. I must try for that because yeah, by the sounds of it, it sounds really, really good. You've piqued my interest.
Patricia Arquette has played Maggie Murdoch, the one
Oh,
that was murdered.
yeah.
And remember, she played Gypsy Rose's, mom in the Hulu series, The Act, and all of that is, dramatized to hell and back. Most of it's
Haven't
made
seen
up.
that.
But
Haven't seen that
uh,
either. We don't have Hulu.
I haven't watched TV or movies in years. I would watch stuff with Maddie, but that was it, right? And of
Mm-hmm.
course, when you have kids, you treat them to the movie theater every time a damn Disney movie comes out,
Oh,
and every time all of that. And then she reached a certain age where she just likes scary movies, and that was fine.
uh-huh.
But with John, we've when we started, talking and all of that, we would have movie nights and all of it. We would pick movies, and we'd watch them together, or shows, or documentaries, or whatever.
Yeah.
And now, we'll commit to watching something, whether it's on Netflix or like this Hulu show. And like I told you, Maddie was into the Murdoch. She watched the Netflix series on the Murdochs, and then I watched it. I couldn't get into it, but then I gave it a go again, and I did get into it. And now we're watching that one on Hulu, and the last episode is set to come out, I think maybe this week if it hasn't already.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
I've watched more TV and shit in the last year and a half, like in person in the same room with John than I have in the last decade. Seriously, because when you work your
Yeah.
ass off, especially, as a case manager in hospice, and you're,
Sure.
going through things and you're just living your life and dealing with it, you just don't have time nor the inclination.
No, you really don't. When you
And
come home, you're done. You just want to either have some food, take a nice hot shower, and just relax and go maybe to sleep or read a book for a bit.
here's a little glimpse into the salty life. When I was working I was working at one hospital, and I worked 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I think
Mm,
I'm telling this out loud because I know I told you this in our conversation,
mm,
Wiki, and I would work Monday through Thursday, 7 p to
yeah.
7 a. And I always made sure I was there in the morning so that way I can make sure Maddie got to school, and that way she got off the bus. and then I could prep dinner and I could have her homework going and all of that. And then I would be out the door. And on Friday mornings, I would come home and I would take a hot bath, like 8:30 in the morning,
Oh, nice.
laundry, go doing whatever.
Hmm.
Liquor, absolutely. Whether it was glass of wine, maybe a Shiner box, something like that.
Yeah.
And
Was
then
your-
sleep for a couple of hours. And on Friday night,
Mhm.
we would have dinner with my mother, even though I was married. Go fuck him. He wasn't a part of that. But on
Nice.
Saturdays, what Maddie would do was pick out a recipe at the beginning of the week,
Ooh.
a new recipe we've never had. So on Saturday, that's when we would do our grocery shopping, and then we would make that recipe that she picked out as
Oh,
a family.
cool.
So, even though I worked my ass off, but I would still, on Friday nights, after we would have dinner with my mother, we would come home and we would watch The Dead Files and Ghost Adventures, because she had a huge crush on Zach Bagans. So that's what we did. That was my TV watching back in the day.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
You were very hands-on, Mum. You're like myself. You're a very hands-on Mum. You were like,
Oh, God, there's Jen. I'm leaving.
No, don't go. Stay. Is Jen coming up?
Shaz Fat, was that the one where he takes the kid out to like do his first kill or whatever? That was on the Fire Stick one day, and I said, "What the hell is that?"
Oh no, 20
Because I
years
remember
later is
28
about,
years later.
it's like the virus, isn't it? It's
Yes,
like
but isn't that where they leave the gates of their community, and he takes his kid out?
oh God, I can't remember now. I'd have to again. 28 days later is something I remember watching years and years ago when it came out. I think Cillian Murphy.
That was. I remember that one, and then they did another one, and then
Yeah.
the 28. If that's the one I'm thinking of, it was on recent. He had it on a couple. Maybe I say recent. It's just like 6 months ago. Who knows? But
Let's
I
go.
remember him taking the kid out, right?
Yeah.
And then something about the tide coming in, and they were running to the gates to try to get to the gates as the tide was coming in, as that thing was chasing them.
Okay. So there was a horde chasing them.
Yeah, okay, it is. Yes, she says yes, Alti. Thank you, Shaz, because that kind of freaked me out. And I was like, what can we expect? 28 decades, 28 millennia? I mean, I thought that the franchise has kind of played itself out, in my opinion, just like Alien. I'm tired of seeing another Alien movie every couple of years at this point.
I know. They kind of do get a bit boring. I mean, I don't know what other way they can sort of make Alien movies, because they all become very samey after a while. There's only so much they can do with an Alien movie, I suppose. They're either
good.
But yeah. So
no, I'm going to tell Genetic Code right now. I told everybody that you were mean to me the other day, and we're no longer friends. That you called me an asshole.
Oh,
and it's over.
Oh,
And I told you, and she said my full name, and she added extra syllables to it for emphasis, like she needed to, Samantha, like that was necessary. You're totally, just calling me an asshole was too much. I don't care. You can call me a rat. You can call me a crack whore, like Dr. B and AD did back in the day. I can even take that. But to call me an asshole just because I was being facetious with you by saying that you're the new queen of ChatGPT, it's not my fault you didn't get it. That's what it was, because she said it's your tone. I can get it in a voice clip. I can't get it if you write it out. You're the ChatGPT. Fuck you, Samantha. You're an asshole.
You two are too much.
Can't. She's
Fucking
so mean. I don't know why I put up with her hairy ass all the time.
Stop being mean to my salty girl. Gotta stop being mean to my girl.
Thank you, Shazbat. She said me too enough already. I just don't know where else they could go with that in the Alien movies. And I mean, I think the only good Alien movie was like Part 2, where they went in with the Marines. That was the one that I liked the most. The Terminator movies.
Yeah. They were cool.
Remember when Ripley goes in with the Marines, and we're talking, what was that, 1984? Maybe 1985.
Yeah, the original, the first Alien movie, that was brilliant. Where he exploded.
That was like 78, 79, so it was totally futuristic and cool back then.
Yeah, and it was really good. It stood the test of time, I think, personally. I think it stood the test of time.
I saw where the director's cut with uncut and scenes from Alien 2, the one with the Marines I'm talking about, was out.
Oh,
Commentary and a bunch of other stuff. And John and I watched that, and it was fucking brilliant. And it
okay.
shows you the backstory. Remember the little girl in that movie, Newt,
Yeah.
that she finds? Yeah, it shows her family and them setting up on this colony and how she came to be where she was and how they found her. So, I mean, there was a whole bunch of uncut,
Yeah.
edited out stuff that was I thought would have been cool to the story, that would have been useful to in the original, but they decided to cut for time.
Yeah. It was a bit,
So,
just came out of nowhere kind of thing, and I thought, well, who owns this child? Where's
I
she?
know. Where'd this kid come from? Why is she so dirty? Why is she ain't talking? What's the deal? I mean, and it shows you the colony of that, when the Marines come in, it's all wiped out and wet. And it's always rainy in those movies. Have you noticed that? It's always rainy and drippy and moist and weird. And so they showed, the colony itself when it was started, and Newt's parents and her brother, and they're driving around in their what would have been really futuristic vehicle, but now just looks like a hybrid, Hummer and Volkswagen Beetle, and it was really cool. It was a really good director's cut. I like those kinds of things.
I have
That's
to make
because the story was good. They didn't depend on special effects.
I
Oh,
have
Alien.
my business to watch that now.
You what?
I have to make it my business to watch that now because I didn't see that.
It's
Direct-
totally worth it. I would suggest anybody that likes the and I don't want to say franchise because I think okay, that one was good. That one was my favorite. The one where she goes and it's like a prison colony of the celibates. They all try to like mass rape Ripley or whatever.
Oh God!
And then at the end, do you remember she does a swan dive into the molten lava.
Oh
the
yeah,
alien coming out of her chest. That one
yeah.
was okay. But that franchise, he had one on the other day. I think was it called The Covenant or Revenant or Alien, whatever?
One after Prometheus.
Yeah, Prometheus? Okay, whatever. There's just too many alien movies. But if you're a fan of the franchise and you like the second one with the Marine, I highly recommend the director's cut. You can see all of those extra scenes in there. It gives the story a whole lot of context. There's a whole lot more scenes between Ripley and the Marine that was kind of crushing on her.
Oh, okay.
And their conversations with Vasquez and the other guy. I mean, there's just a whole lot of cool scenes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make it my business to either rewatch it or watch it for the first time. I can't remember if I ever saw the second one, to be honest. I don't think I did. But yeah, no,
that is the second one for Aliens, where the Marines go in.
I don't think I've seen that one.
And Shasta said that was the third movie for that franchise for 28 years later. And I hope it stops there because 28 decades would be what?
Yeah.
John says 280 days later. I said, we're way past that with 28 years. Do your math.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm interested to see the third one. I don't know. Yeah, you said the second one was good, so I'll watch it. But second, I don't know. Franchises are always a bit crappy, aren't they?
No,
really?
that one I'm talking about Aliens. With Shazbad, I'm talking about the 28 years franchise.
Okay.
So she said that's the third one. 28. Okay, so there's 28 days later. What was the second one? Weeks? Was it 28 weeks later?
Probably, yeah, weeks and then years.
Okay. And now 28 years. Mm-hmm. See, I think JC left because she knows that I'm mad at her and I don't want her following me all over. I can do a stream without you in the chat and without you on the panel. Thank you very much. I'm perfectly capable of being a big girl on YouTube. I'm a Jen, big girl YouTuber.
She's giving you crap, Jen. But no, again,
she's gone quiet.
Again, I just wanted to tell. JC hasn't had a chance yet to go live with this new information because it only sort of popped out. Was it yesterday or today? So we literally just glossed over it. I just wanted to, just gloss over it with Salty. Jen will be going into it in far more detail and breaking it down. And
because she knows that a lot of that much better than we do. And even if we just take our information off of CaseBoard. Mm-hmm. Anybody capable of rational thought can see what the hell it means. I mean, you get the gist of it. There's no whitewashing. It doesn't matter. Go ahead and try as much as you want. It's there,
Yeah.
black and white.
Yeah.
I especially love the part where they said, participants or claimants support online,
Yeah.
of hostility, hostile acts.
Yeah.
Is that the last one, babe?
Yeah.
Oh, the last one came out of the Murdoch. It's called Murdoch: Death in the Family on Hulu.
You're fine.
I-
Or that. Or, okay, I'm gonna have to watch this bloody thing now because you have me interested in it. It was one of those cases that I just couldn't get into. It was like you with the Idaho case. But I must watch it now.
But you see, I did that for you though, Vicky, because I thought at least if anything, if we start talking, about different cases,
Yeah.
I could at least I can have something to offer to the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that.
Oh, well, I'll do that for you. So I'll watch the murder. I'll watch something on it. You know what? I think I'm
But
going to have the Ed Gein thing alone on Netflix because I just cannot get into it. I think it's dreadful. I really do. I
how
think
many
it's absolutely,
episodes? I told you
yeah.
there was so much unnecessary shit in that
Oh,
series. The last couple of episodes are the best. Well, I would say that the last or the second to the last episode is the best.
well,
Just
then
skip
what I
forward
might,
and go to those.
yeah, what I might do is I might go to the last 2 episodes and watch them
Yeah.
because it's painful. I've just finished the
No,
third.
they're all good.
I can't make myself look at anymore. But
Well,
you said the last 2 are good. I'll watch the last 2. So,
Either the second to the last or the last one to wrap it up because so much of it was just unnecessary. And it's just
oh
like I
yeah,
said, that
Mm.
guy who produces the show and directs it, he puts this everything is so surreal. You don't know if it's real, if it's not real. And then he's added the schizophrenic aspect into it. So that way
yeah.
it's really kind of it's even more surreal than it normally would be.
I think he's trying to
And
get the watcher experience of what it was like being in his head. You know what he was seeing. I
very
think
well could be.
yeah,
Very
that's
well could be.
well for
But the whole thing, like I said, with Ilsa Koch,
Mm.
having her in there and then Christine Jorgensen,
yeah,
in everything that I've read about him and even what he said himself, he's never mentioned or talked about either one of those people. The Ilsa Koch storyline is a fabrication, obviously, because
yeah.
she didn't even live in the camps. Her husband was was a capo in one of them.
Yeah.
And a lot of that stuff was attributed, some certain things were attributed to her after the war. But regardless, that was unnecessary. That storyline.
Yeah.
I think they were using it as a catalyst to explain why he, like the skin suit aspect, or skinning these people, and so
yeah,
but yeah, it was kind of trippy. It really
yeah.
was trippy.
Yeah, I mean, I the third one you can see where it's going to go. It's starting to get trippy, like really trippy in the bar and all that kind of thing. And I'm like, oh, I just want facts. I just want facts. If I was in the mood of watching, something that was loosely based on his life, well, then yeah, I'd watch it. And I would find it difficult though because there's so much in it that is just so unnecessary, not needed. So, oh yeah, there's another guy that I wanted to ask you about. Did you know him? And I have to remember where he's from. Albert Fish. Did you ever hear of that guy?
Yes, and he was a freak.
Yes.
He
Yes,
was an absolute
horror.
sadistic freak.
Yeah, an absolute horror. Whereas, like Ed, I don't think now what he done to the bodies was horrible and unforgivable. But when he killed people, which was just the two, if you include his brother, 3, he wasn't cruel. He wasn't cruel. Like he didn't want them to suffer. He didn't want to see or cause them any pain. So it was just one shot to the head. So yeah, I don't know. But
I
Albert,
think what
that's cruel.
I find so interesting when it comes to Gein, and psychologically speaking, the
Yeah.
people that investigated that, look at the period of time that it took place in. We didn't
Oh,
have
well,
mass media. There weren't TVs out there. There weren't magazines like that. Certainly not any like hardcore BDSM.
No.
Magazines. There was nothing smut, as they would have said. There was nothing
Playboy.
like that. So those
Playboy.
guys, not even Playboy yet at that time. No, not even Playboy. So those images, he wouldn't have had. See, we can see these images in our head, right? Because we can see them played out on a screen, etc., or on a magazine page. But with him, I can only imagine how fucked up those investigators, the cops there, and the people that saw that.
Yeah.
how badly it affected them, because they were seeing things that they had never, ever, nobody had ever seen
No,
before, ever.
I
When
know.
you're talking about the lampshades and,
Oh, the chair.
he made chairs with their skin, and not just the skin suits, but
Yep.
just,
Bowls. Not
belts and
for.
bowls with their
Oh,
skulls and
yeah.
all of that. That I can only imagine, psychologically speaking, what it did to
You
those
must
guys, right?
devastate. But
And
like,
where he got the compulsion from,
oh yeah. But
honestly,
can you?
because
Can you go on?
he wouldn't have been able to see it. He wouldn't have been able to go and see these BD, like, I always said the advent of like hardcore pornography
Oh,
being
listen,
fed to the mainstream back in the 70s with Hustler and stuff like that
Yeah.
really fed into people like Ted Bundy and
Oh yeah.
Ramirez, and those, you have that generation of serial killers where it's like,
Sure.
there were like, there were so many of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But back then with Ed Gein, even though he wasn't a serial killer, he did these things, and
Oh
there was a sexual component to it.
yes, there was. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he wouldn't have. There was no external. Um,
I know what you
there was
mean.
nothing. There was nothing externally compelling him to do those things, because he had never visualized. He had no way to visualize those things. He had never seen it.
But he did read and see magazine, like he did the True Detective stuff. He was really into the True Detective stuff, and
But even then, we're not talking
yeah.
nipple belts and
No, 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 God, no, no. That was all his design. Absolutely came from his head and nobody else's. But he was into the war and all the stuff that they did in the camps. They had all these magazines, I suppose, propaganda stuff and
I
whatever.
don't.
But it was the
I know
accent.
that that played in in the show, but I'm not sure if that's actually true. Nothing I've ever read about him, and I've heard him talk. And
Yeah,
the very few, I've never heard him mention those things.
yeah. Well,
I've never heard anybody mention those.
again, I don't know if this is fact, but it was
Yeah.
around the same time, and you could maybe sort of maybe tie in. Did he get his influence from that? Because there was a lot of
Well,
quite
there would
explicit
have been coverage of the
graphs.
Nuremberg trials, yeah, and he would have been hearing that
Yeah,
if anything. But I'm just not. But when it comes to the show, yeah, just skip to the end, or
yeah. I
not.
mean, I want details. I don't want fantasy made up crap. I want the details. That's what puts me off watching a lot of things. That you get this fantasy clip version, and the rest, the information you want is sort of hidden under everything else, and it's just not what I want to watch. So yeah, I'll go on YouTube and look for a proper
What does that
document.
say? Lady
Pardon?
Witch said I watched that trial. Holy crap! Are you talking about the Murdoch, or am I missing something? I saw, and then, well, Lisa, I saw a podcast with Stephanie Harlow saying that the father has been arrested in the Skeleton Brothers case. The judge is legally dead. Wow.
What case is that? The Murdoch case?
Well, I don't know if that's the trial that she was talking about,
Oh,
but then, well, Lisa said something about the Skeleton Brothers
okay.
case. The judge just declared them legally dead,
Wow.
and the father's been arrested.
Yeah, there's so many different crimes and murders, whatever, that like would really sort of pique my interest. I like them like really psychopathic
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I sit there and I try and work them out. I'm never going to. I don't know why I torment myself with it. I'm never going to work them out, but I do sit there and I do try, and I'm trying, I'm
Well,
thinking,
we have to rationalize the unrational. Okay,
yeah,
things like that. Why did Ed Gein do what he did? When
yeah,
that's the a common misconception I think people have, that he killed all these people and skinned them and stuff like
mm,
that. But he didn't. He
no,
didn't. He just dug these people up over a
yeah,
period of time. These poor people.
sure,
And like so yeah, okay. So Lady Witch is saying yes, Murdoch. Now I struggle for the motive for that one, but I think it's fairly obvious, and it comes down to money, and then getting his way out of that, because they're not Buster. Um,
she
uh,
was a beautiful woman.
Paul's, yeah, she was. Paul's trial was coming up. The civil case against him was coming up. I think it all, culminated, but I don't know why he killed them both. He could have gotten away with just killing Paul, I think. But why he killed his wife, it boggles the mind. Um, what is open murder? What's open murder, Wiccan?
Open murder? I don't know. Did I say anything about open? Lisa, he's charged with open murder. Open murder. I've never heard of that before. I don't think I have. Anyway, is it? And I don't know. I haven't.
Does that mean when they don't have the body?
I don't. It could be, but I've never heard it referred to as open murder before. Maybe is the case open? I don't know. Is the answer to that, darling? I honestly don't know. You could have a Google and see what it comes up with, or put it into ChatGPT. Everybody seems to
Right?
be ChatGPT at the moment. I'm the only one I think that doesn't use ChatGPT, and you'll know.
I had it for a little while, but I didn't utilize it, so there was no
Yeah, same.
reason to do so.
Yep.
And there are other apps that just I
Mm.
can use just as easily. But um, yeah, the skeleton boys they're missing, but they charged the dad. And if
This.
it's, I'm assuming that means that he's culpable. They're finding they have enough reason to arrest him
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
being culpable in their disappearance,
Sure.
presuming they're dead now, and that he's the cause of it.
Yeah. And
There have
what's?
been cases where they've arrested people without a body and they've been charged
Oh
guilty
yeah.
and found guilty.
Yeah. But come here, tell me, what's the case? The Skeleton Boys. What's that all about?
Skeleton.
The Skeleton Boys. The missing Skeleton Boys. I don't know who they are.
Let me see. Hold on.
Am I reading that right? I can't see with my bloody glasses.
It's skeleton. Let
Skeleton?
me see. I'm gonna pull it up.
The skeleton or skeleton? I can't see with my fucking eyes at the minute. Skeleton Boys. Skelton or AN. I'm not too sure. Boys. I don't know what. Okay. It's not
It's
my eyes trying to see. Ever since I had COVID, my eyes just went to shit. My eyes are just blurry all the time. Sometimes they clear up, but majority of the time they're always blurry. It's very annoying. It allows the
family
press
of missing.
charge either first or
Okay, so
okay.
3 boys. Their ages were 9, 7, and 5. Disappeared in November of 2010.
Oh God.
Wow. Oh, I remember this. That's right. They disappeared and didn't. I remember this now. I'm pulling it up. More than a decade since Andrew Alexander and Tanner Skelton vanished from their father's home, the case remains a mystery, but investigators hope recent updates in the case will lead to a conclusion.
Oh wow.
This is just a timeline of it. Okay, here's what we need to know. Oh, it says we've compiled a timeline from the initial search in the days following the brothers' disappearance on Thanksgiving Day 2010 to the planned release of their father, John Skelton, following a 15-year sentence for unlawful imprisonment, foiled by the filing of 3 open murder charges against him. Okay, here's what to know about the case.
Okay.
2010, November 25th, Andrew Alexander and Tanner, 9, 7, and 5, visit their father's home in Morency, that's in Michigan, for Thanksgiving. They're never seen again. November 26th, John Skelton attempts suicide. Tanya Zubers, the boy's mother, reports the children missing. Skelton claims he gave the brothers to a woman named Joanne Taylor.
Mm.
Okay. November 27th through the 30th. Numerous agencies conduct searches for the boys, and police announce they don't believe Joanne Taylor exists. We've heard of that before, like with Casey Anthony and the
Mm-hmm.
nanny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Numerous agencies, conduct searches for the boys, and police announce they don't believe Joanne Taylor exists. Skelton is arrested for parental kidnapping in Ohio while undergoing medical treatment. December 1st through the 4th, search efforts intensify across Michigan and Ohio as Skelton fights extradition. December 14th through the 27th, Skelton waives extradition and is arraigned and bound over for trial. He claims he turned the brothers over to an unnamed organization. Wow.
No, that's all.
2011, January through February, Skelton refuses to disclose the boys' whereabouts. The case shifts to a murder investigation, February through March. The case is kicked back to district court after charges of parental kidnapping are upgraded to unlawful imprisonment.
Oh, God.
June through September, oh, these poor little boys.
No.
June through September, Skelton pleads no contest to unlawful imprisonment and is sentenced to 10 to 15 years in prison. So in 2013, media and investigations shift. The case is featured on John Walsh Investigates, which generates some tips.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan State Police assumed the investigation for the Morenci Police Department. In 2017, the possible lead. December, 3 juvenile remains are found in Montana,
Oh,
but they are
God.
not believed to be connected to the brothers. 2020, public awareness. Headline News airs a documentary titled Missing Skeleton Brothers. Age progression photos were put out by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. In 2023-2025 legal declaration of death, Zivers, which is their mom, petitions to declare the children legally deceased. Judge Solid declares the brothers dead, but finds insufficient evidence to conclude the cause was murder.
Mm.
Skeleton is scheduled to be released from prison after serving a full sentence for unlawful imprisonment on November 29th, 2025. And on November 13th, 2025, MSP announces 3 open murder charges and 3 tampering with evidence charges against him. So he's
Wow.
scheduled to be released,
Wow.
but they charged him with open murder. I get it. He changed his story so many times it's ridiculous, she says. Wow.
I wonder when he gets out, will he go back to wherever he or whatever he's done with the children? Because they normally do that, don't they?
I don't know.
Go
I
back.
remember this now. I remember it now after seeing the little boy's pictures on what I just read, because they never found their remains. And I remember when they found the remains of those kids in Montana, but it turned out, of course, that it wasn't them.
As a
can't
mother,
believe so
I
much
would
time
be
has
losing
passed.
my mind. I would be losing my mind as a mother, and knowing
no.
that he's exactly where they are. I mean, at this point, you know, going off what you guys have just said there, he knows exactly what he's done with them and where he left them or what he's done with them. Oh God, I mean, as a mother, you must be so frustrated. You must want to strangle him to get the information out of him.
I don't know. Well, Lisa, just listening to that or reading that out loud, he's not scheduled to be released until the 29th of November. But now that they've charged him, I don't know that they will release him.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Those boys deserve to be buried with dignity rather than being shoved wherever God love them they are. And their mother and the rest of the family deserve to have closure. You know, not wondering where they are still, you know, because that can't be, that has got to be a nightmare that never ends.
You know, I was listening to that when I was telling you I was listening to that book that one of the victims, I can't remember, I think it was the Anna's mother. She'd always struggled with substance abuse, and then after her daughter was murdered, you know,
Okay.
she relapsed, and she
Okay.
was arrested and she was put in jail, and they let her out of jail to go to her daughter's memorial, right?
Well,
And then she was supposed to go back and for an arraignment, and she didn't, and she bounced out of the state. And she was using really hard at that time, you know,
yeah.
meth, heroin, all
Oh,
of
dear.
it.
Yeah.
And, you know, just you talk about the effects that something like that has.
Mm.
And I can't imagine the mother of 3 missing boys
No.
being able to live her life in any normal way
Yeah.
at all
No, me
after
either.
that. I really can't. And there's that one case that's ongoing. That one guy took his daughters, 3 little girls, and they disappeared last year. And he
Oh, yeah.
literally, they found their bodies, but he's gone. No trace of him. He just disappeared. It's in the Pacific Northwest. Just
Wow.
gone without.
Oh, I remember that case. I think he's topped himself. I do.
know. They would have found something.
I think he's topped himself and he's taken himself off somewhere very peculiar and he's topped himself.
Well, it is very remote. I mean, the Pacific Northwest is just like you can disappear. But I think, yeah, if you're right, probably pull like a Brian Laundrie, and the animals have had their way with them. They will never
Yeah.
find them at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what's happened there. And I think I remember saying it like when the kids went missing and I was like, oh, this sounds so much like the Brian Laundrie kind of situation. I wouldn't be surprised if that's exactly what's happened here. Now, if you've no body to recover, you can't really say yes or no, but I would imagine Because he's never been found. None of his cards have been activated. None of his bank accounts. No money's been. If somebody, you need money, you need food. You know what I mean? Somebody's going to pop up somewhere. And if he
Well,
didn't
there's
take
the
cash
guy
out
that
of
I
his
saw.
account,
He was up for embezzlement. I mean, he embezzled like 1 or $2.3 million from the company that he worked for, and they were close to busting him. And then he killed his wife and his daughter, and he disappeared. And he was on the Appalachian Trail for a
yeah.
couple of years, and I'm talking more than a couple of years. And everybody knew him by his trail name. I can't remember what it was,
Oh, I remember
and he was
that.
totally
Yeah,
unrecognizable. So yeah, but he had money,
yeah,
obviously. But
yeah.
they there was a guy he saw something on TV. He's like, I know that guy. He
I
was pretty
saw that
famous on the
interview.
trail.
Yes, I saw that interview. Yeah, your man let his hair grow out, and he just looked like a
His
completely
beard, he had that
guy.
beard and
Yeah,
all that.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, some people just he didn't. He made himself too visible, even though he thought he was being invisible pretty much by just staying on the trail, right? But I guess you can. I mean, people. What happened to that one guy, that Lord whatever in the UK back in the 50s or 60s or whatever it was? He up and disappeared
Oh,
after
which
he
which
killed that
guy?
woman. It'll come to me. Fuck.
It's
It'll
okay.
come to me.
It's I'm
But
the same. Like every time I think I have something in my head, it's gone. I'm at that certain age where information doesn't stay in my head very long.
I don't think age has anything to do with it with me. I mean, I'll remember it just, just
Oh, I
like
will
that.
remember, but it'll be like 4 o'clock in the
Lord
morning.
Lucan. That's
Lord
it.
Lucan. Oh, right, okay. I don't know too much about Lord Lucan. I never followed any of those kind of stories. They wouldn't sort of whet my appetite, but like Rose and Fred West, definitely. And the Moors,
Oh,
and yeah,
is she still alive? Is she still
yeah,
alive?
still
Is
alive.
that not
She's
the
still
interview?
alive.
Rose
Yeah,
what?
It's
horrible
spelled
woman.
like
What, babe?
Lord Lucan. Is that the guy, the MP that disappeared?
Yeah, he disappeared after the death of that woman, and he disappeared. He's just gone.
They caught him on the boat in fact. I'm sure they caught him. I don't know.
I
Something
don't
on the
know.
boat.
Pretty close to
Yeah,
you.
yeah. There's a lot. There's a whole lot of stuff out there that you know cases are just going by people, and they're terrible stories, and they're not getting a look in, because there's an even more terrible story coming up behind it. And yeah, it's a lot, if you were to sit down and really go and watch every case or listen to every case. I don't think I'd close my eyes at night. I really don't. I think it'd be too much.
Well, but that's one thing that I appreciate about this book,
Mm.
because he's using how people are interested in true crime,
Oh
whether
yeah.
they're cold cases, old cases, or new cases. Sometimes
Hmm.
it just taps to the psyche, especially with this online communities of these, sleuths. He was talking about Bullhorn Betty showing up down there and trying to get interviews with cops,
Oh
during her live stream and stuff like that.
yes.
And just how social media influenced how this case was being covered, that you
Yeah,
had pages on Facebook and other forums like Reddit where
that's
people
right.
are devoting themselves and they're talking about this case using stuff that's coming out in mainstream media, right?
Hmm.
And then mainstream media using stuff that's coming out in social media as coverage
Yeah,
for this case, and we're
yeah.
seeing that crossover now.
Mm.
And so I appreciated that aspect of it. I really did, because
Yeah,
people
that's
like to talk about these things. People have, I struggle. I don't know what his motive was. I struggle with the motive. I haven't been able to think about it too deeply yet.
yeah.
What was his motive for doing this? I think that he probably would have gone on to kill a lot more people. I believe that.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, if he could do that to his own, he wouldn't think twice about
oh no,
what
no,
is.
I'm talking about Brian Koberger right now. I'm sorry.
Oh, Brian Kober.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, with
I,
how people from social media started really attacking this case, and then they were seeing an uptick in engagement, so they were able to start making money off of it and able
oh
to
yeah.
bankroll their coverage of it. So they were going to Moscow, or they were going and getting the locals onto their live streams, and then um, just like I said, the crossover of coverage when you had these pages devoted to it, and they were they were using the talking points from mainstream media on
Right.
their pages, and the mainstream media was using their talking points from social media in their coverage of it.
It's mad,
But
isn't
I
it?
don't know. That's why I said I struggle with the motive for this one, other
Yeah.
than, but I believe that he would have gone on to kill a lot more people.
Yeah. I
I
see.
think
I
he
don't
would have.
know. There's more come out about the Idaho case. There's somebody else was saying now that they had a couple of other people, like 3 other people, on camera or something on one of their doorbell cameras that they were hiding in the shadows, and somebody was saying that there's proof that there was at least 3 other people involved. And but like you hear all of this getting wafted around on social media, but like how much of it
Yeah.
is true? You know, how much of it is true?
I don't believe that. I think from what I'm listening to, and everything is just basically coming from the police files themselves. I don't believe. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so when it comes like to the families themselves, they said that they're they had a major issue when the stories from social media started coming out saying, well, it was somebody that had a grudge against one of the others, one of them, right? It could have been this one, that one, or this one. And
Yeah.
then the others were collateral damage, right?
Yeah.
And that it would have pitted, one set of parents or family
Oh yeah.
members against the others, like, oh my gosh, they killed my kid because they had a problem with yours, that kind of thing. And they didn't like that the police were investigating that angle. But what
Right.
else did they have to go on at the time, right?
I
But I
know.
believe, and there was only one person nearby that had a camera above their door, and on it you heard audio, but you couldn't see anything. It was
Yeah.
audio of the dog barking, and you
Hmm.
can hear like arguing and fighting, and then you hear like loud thuds,
And then
and
screaming.
then
Yeah.
and a few screams, but mostly just at that very beginning. So
Buds.
they had an idea, they knew, yeah, but there was nothing caught on actual camera, no video
No.
anywhere, but there was only one nearby, and that was the one that shared a wall with one that were on the other side of that building.
Yeah.
So I
It's
think
right.
if any video was to be had, it would have been from them. But
Yeah.
so far, from what I understand, there wasn't any video.
And like I'm thinking of the young guy that died. The rest were girls, isn't that right? I think he was Xana's boyfriend. I can't think of his
Yeah,
name. Um,
Ethan.
Ethan, that's the one. Like he was a very big guy. He was a really, really big guy and strong.
Mhm.
Whereas I know the other guy, Koberger, he was tall, but he looks quite scrawny and like wouldn't hit his way out of a wet paper bag. How did he get the better of Ethan? And then how did nobody run out and try and get help? There's just so much that I don't understand about this case.
Yeah, and I'm not done with this book. I'm not sure, Shazbad, if you were here earlier. I was telling Wiki, and I just started the book about it last night. It's called While Idaho Slept.
Mm,
It's really, really good. I'm listening to it in audio format, so that way I can multitask at the same time.
hmm.
Um, but I like the aspect where he's really talking about how you have these online sleuths,
Oh yeah.
that were really attacking it from every angle.
Mm,
And but with that, there's a lack of responsibility when you're just on some YouTube channel somewhere talking about this and making up all of these different, you have your theories, right?
of
But
course,
then
yeah.
but you don't have any evidence. You don't have
No, I know what you mean. Surefire proof that X, Y, and Z
yeah,
happened.
you don't have access to actual evidence either of
Sure.
anything. It's just theories and people theorizing, but it becomes a beast in a way. But also, it spurs conversations and could be's and what ifs and all of that. It's a really good book. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it.
I'm
Lana
definitely
reviewed it, I think. We will have a look, Salty. Um, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm sure it came out a long time ago, but I wasn't really into the Koberger case when it happened, but I was talking to Wicked about it a couple of months ago, and
hmm.
it came up on my thing because I finished listening to one about the Yorkshire Ripper, and it came up on there. And I was like, I'll give it a listen, and it's engaging enough and compelling enough to keep my interest. So I'm almost
Oh,
done with it.
oh, good. Well, let me know
Um,
what you think of it when you're done. I'm always interested in hearing other people's ideas or takes on the information that they've had. I haven't read that
it's
book, but going to grab it.
Lisa says they were all drunk and the house was set out. So the rooms were all over the place the way that it was set up. And I know that he keeps talking about in this book, he keeps talking about the different body cams because, you have campus police and police that are called there for noise complaints all the time.
Hmm.
And so you see them, different angles of it, and you see it, and it's true. It's like on the second floor, like quote unquote patio where they would, upstairs.
Sure, yeah.
And then, it is the layout of that place is it's awkward. It's not a
It's
traditional,
peculiar. Yeah, it's peculiar.
floor plan. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So, and I think they were drinking a lot. And
Oh, yeah. There was a college
uh,
house. See, well, I know it didn't belong to the college. I know it was privately rented, but I mean, there were college kids. That's what you think was going to happen,
oh, well, sure. And
Yeah,
it's on, yes, absolutely. And that's just part of the college thing.
of course. Yeah,
It is what it is.
yeah.
But I don't know if that would, I'm trying to, I like Crime Weekly. I like their coverage. I watch them every once in a while when they have something on that catches my interest, like when they did the Amy Bradley. I listened to
Okay.
them on that one. She
Yeah.
said
Well,
that it's Crime Weekly that's talking about the Skelton brothers.
oh, okay.
Did it just come out? Because don't they put them out on at the beginning of the week?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. I'm going to go and have a look at these young lads. I'll probably remember them as soon as I see their faces. I'm terrible at names, but I'll never forget a face. So I'm going to hop onto this now and see if I can pull up the case because I want to hear what's happening, what's going on. Those three little
Gosh, I
boys.
think I really hurt JC's feelings. Just
Ah, no,
disappeared.
really? Did she really go? Oh, JC, no, come
She
back.
knows I'm playing. It's still early for her, and
Oh,
if
that's
memory
right.
serves correctly, she's going back to work today.
Oh, shit.
Um,
Then that's why she was running. We'll just say
maybe.
you upset AJ or you upset JC. It's all your
And
fault.
she's looking through what she's got, and she's, because again, the time there and
I know.
all of that, but
I know.
I don't know. I'm sorry, again, to Chasey, she knows I'm just fucking with her.
I know she
She's not
does.
that sensitive. We're not that sensitive in real life, Wiccan, don't you know
No,
that?
no, I'm not
We're
that
really
precious.
not. Oh my
I'm
god.
not that precious.
Okay, so what Lisa says, yeah, 21 out. Yeah, they release their stuff early in the, yeah. I think I saw it come up on my recommended because I am sub to them. So if they're doing it, I'm gonna have to give it a watch too.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, I started early because I needed to finish earlier because I've got stuff to do. So it's 2:30
Well,
now.
then
So
I will say my salty goodbyes and fuck yous, and I will fuck myself off right now, so that way you can say your goodbyes.
don't say that. We love you,
It's
Salty.
true.
Thank you, darling, for
I
coming
love
up.
you too, and I'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you for reading that out for me as well because I can't do those things while I'm on here. I did try before and I think I messed it up. Again, thank you, Salty, my salty girl, and Cassie is hey. Right, folks, I am going to love you and leave you. So don't forget if you want to have all the ins and outs of everything that's going on. JC has made a post about it, but she will be going live about it as well, just to break it all down so we can all make sure we're on the same page and understand mostly what's actually been said and how we're all going to go or how they're all going to go about it. So on that note, my lovely people, I hope you all have a wonderful day, morning, evening, wherever you are on this blue rock, and have a great one. Take care, and I will see you next week. Have a great one. Bye. Oh. Oh, who's this? Sorry, Terry, I have to go.